Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to the Bourbon Bar. I'm Holden. This is Lauren. She's hiding. And yeah, we are just going to get after it and do a tasting today. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull these out of the boxes because Lauren doesn't like boxes. She says that boxes are stupid, and so we have to get rid of them. Otherwise, Lauren won't pour anything. But how's everyone doing today? I hope everyone had a great Christmas. And I hope if that's what you celebrate anyway. And I hope you're just having a good time, like existing in the world. So that being said, I certainly am having a great time existing in the world because I'm about to embark on a journey with just 10 of the best whiskeys of the year. So let me just wait. That's not even the way that goes. I'm just gonna. And quite frankly, going into this, I thought maybe I would have like some better guesses as to who's gonna win and who's not gonna win. But so far, there's been a couple upsets. So this is actually a top 25 list that I've been working on. But I've already got my. I do it in a bracket, which I'll explain after Lauren pours these all in the cups.
What if I just put a blindfold on you and then you talk while I pour?
Because I'll be able to hear everything.
Okay, but you won't know what number that's going to be.
I still think I'll just step out of the room. But basically, I have it down to a science. I've done like a bunch of different blinds so far, and these are the top 10. And now I will blind these 10 to see which one's the best, and it'll give me my complete and total list. Now, I'm going to say hi to these other people before I step out of the room, and Lauren will pour me these things now. Mr. Joe Dickinson is here. It's Dickens. It says it's the Tater Olympics. It is, in fact, the Tater Olympics, but thank you for being here, Joe. Casey said there's a Weller 12 in there somewhere.
There's not.
Nope. Actually, Weller 12 has already been kicked out.
No, I don't think you put it in there at all.
No, it is. It is.
You sure?
It's, last place. So, but cheers, Casey. Thanks for being here. Mr. Derek Whiting's in the chat. We never went over there. What did we have to go over there for?
Your stupid drill.
Oh, yeah. Well, cheers to you, Mr. Derek. Whiskey Uncensored here says best butt stuff of the year. Oh, the absolute best. It doesn't get much better than this, that's for sure. Henny Z says, how are you now? Just got done watching new season Letterkenny. Oh, shit. How was it? Was it the newest one, like the last one that just came out, or is it just got done watching the new season? Probably that. Bino's here, says Bino in the house. Bino, cheers to you. Thanks for being here. So much butt stuff. True. Ken V is in the chat, says cheers. Ken, cheers to you. Thanks for being here. How are you doing today? It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood. It's Dickens. Season 12 just dropped. And isn't it the last season, I think, too, of Letterkenny that's around, I think? I don't know for sure, but what I can tell you is we're about to go ham with all these whiskeys. I'm going to move them all over here and get the glasses set up for Lauren to be able to pour these.
That's a bad idea. There's no pour and put them in a line.
I'm going to just put the glasses in order like so.
Okay, I just said not to do that.
There. Okay.
I've been listening.
So.
There's a cup in the way.
Here's how it's going to work. Lauren, I'm going to step out of the room. Well, technically it's mine.
Well,
I'm going to step out of the room. Lauren's going to pour them. This front left glass is going to be glass 1. This bottom right glass is going to be glass 10. What I do is I work my way through one way, giving a score on the nose and the palate. Then I work my way backwards the other way, nose and palate. And then I add them all together. And any that are tied, I'll A and B. Or if there's any that I think I didn't get completely right away, like I didn't get like good enough scores right away because my palate needed to warm up, I will retaste those and do some A's and B's of those and switch things around. But overall, that's how I'm going to figure out the top 10, and then we'll reveal them out at the end. So that being said, I'm going to step out of the room. Lauren's going to fill these glasses. And yeah, I'll be back.
I don't get paid to do this. Okie dokie. Uh-oh. Okie dokie. we're just gonna go like this. Oh, okay. So this bottle has crappy wax on it. In case you guys were wondering. So this, you can't even see it. That is going to be this one right here, which is 6. I have to write them down. I don't forget. I lost my pen. Okie dokie. This one is gonna be. This one's gonna be 9. Okay. Let's write that down. Okie dokie. This one, that one is gonna be number 2. Okie dokie. Alright, this one is gonna be number 10. This one, where's the name on this? What the heck? That one? You guys know what it is. I don't know why I need to try so hard. Alright. This one is gonna be number 4. Okay. Alright. Okie dokie. This one is gonna be 8. Okay. Uh-oh. What do I have left? This one? Okay. This one is gonna be number 7. All right. I have 3 left. What didn't I? Oh, this. This one is gonna be this one, number 5. This one. Can anyone see what that says? I don't even know what number this is. C923. It's gonna be 3. Yeah. Oof. This is why I told him this was a stupid idea. Okay. Ooh. Uh-oh. What was 5? I'm forgetting to write things down. All right, and that means that number 1 is this one. This one. Okay. All right, friends. We are all done. Let me just move these out of the way. Okay. Everyone need me to re-say something? Or does everyone got it all? Do I got it all? Oh, I don't got it all. What the heck? Okay. I think we're good. Does everyone's good? Okay. Hold on. We're done. Okie. And someone had a question, I think, that Holden's going to go over stuff later. The rest of them.
What's up?
Right? Are you going to go over the rest of them in this live stream, or is there going to be a video?
The rest of what?
Of all the
Yeah, I'll go through all of them, but I am going to put out an official video with all of the top 25, just of me going over them.
I lost my soda.
Oh, shit. I brought it out there and I didn't bring it back.
What the fuck?
What are you doing? Come to the
I
bed.
think I'm going to make myself an old-fashioned with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
What?
with the squirt soda.
Oh, it's this?
Yeah, I want to try it.
Oh, well, need some ice?
Yeah, in a glass.
Oh, a big one, eh?
I don't know. What's the first one? Oh, here's a small one. But I'm not a Gryffindor.
Well, grab a Hufflepuff.
Apparently, I'm not allowed the big old fashioned. He could have been making me a drink while I was pouring these 10 whiskeys, guys. What the heck?
Okay, hello everybody, and this is it.
So we're gonna make an old fashioned with the streamy squirt.
Yep. There you go.
Thank you. What should I use in my old fashioned?
I don't know. What would you like to
Ooh,
use?
let's ask the people. What should I use in my old fashioned?
What kind of whiskey is Lauren gonna put in her old fashioned? I think this poured a little thin compared to these ones.
I can't reach over there.
Okay, everybody. Hello, I am back, and super excited. Should I put these bottles down there?
I think they're okay right there because we'll probably grab them later anyway. So.
Okay. Do you need me to make your old fashioned?
No, I need to decide what bourbon I'm
Okay.
gonna have.
Am I scrolling up at all or no?
You should be able to do anything because I didn't ask them to any questions. They just watched me pour. I'm sure it was very interesting, guys. You got to see the behind the scenes.
Am I looking up?
What are you bitching about?
Oh, Lauren looks a little tired. Lauren's pouring about.
I am tired. I don't know why. I got a lot of stuff done today.
Whiskey
so
Uncensored says to hide all those bottles and put different things in them. That would be funny. That would have definitely helped me out for sure. Peter White says, "Cheers, all Peter. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here." Put all the good bottles and go lower deck. Beano Triple Reserve.
What?
Old Pirate Bourbon says, "Cheers, bourbon friends." Hey, cheers to you, Mr. Old Pirate Bourbon.
New?
How are you doing now? Huh?
Is that new?
I believe so.
So, like,
Welcome
what
to
kind
it.
of bourbon does he drink if it's pirate bourbon? I thought they drink rum.
Well, technically, the old Elijah Craig was called the
right.
Pirate Bottle.
You're right.
Casey says, Holden's going to be the guy falling down the stairs on Trailer Park Boys after tonight's blind.
I feel like you've been doing okay after these 10 whiskeys.
Well, when I do the 10 whiskey blinds like this, I try not to drink too much, and I really go off of like gut
I think
instinct.
this was the first one I poured, so that would make sense why it's.
Why it's getting heavier and heavier.
Why?
Do you have the book then that I can?
No, I didn't turn it over. I turned it over now. I threw something on the ground.
Can I have the book though, so where my
Oh yeah.
No. Where did you write it on the page that I'm supposed
I thought I flipped it and I didn't.
Okay, just give it to me on an empty page.
Hold on, I can just cover it. You can just use this page. Here you go.
Casey says that 4 Roses 135 got last out of
You should have been.
out of the 10 bottles, I believe. Oh.
No.
Well, actually, it's
It's.
not even in this blind. Actually,
Yeah, because
it got last out of a different 10 bottles, so it's actually number something else. I'll get to that later. But
Did anyone decide on what whiskey I want to have?
drank too much yesterday. Was feeling slow mo, but did a hungover 4 mile hike. That's too much for me.
I feel like a 4, like outside and like the medium warm, but not like a overly hot. So like if you did need to throw up, you could do it anywhere. Probably not horrible. Just a physical activity's gotta suck.
Yeah, physical activity is a no-go for me if I'm hungover. But I don't really have a good place to. It's not this page, right?
It's the one behind it.
Okay. So I can use this
Yeah,
side.
you use that side. What's on there? That wasn't from me. This is you and Casey always skip to like the absolute freshest piece of paper, so we don't have any fresh paper.
You gotta go to the freshies.
You're getting your own notebook for this.
Okay, so the way I do this, I may have already mentioned, but I have the first round and I go through 1 through 10, and I do the nose, and I do the palate, and then I'll go back through 10 through 1 and do the same thing. I'll add them all together, and I will A and B any that I need to for tiebreakers. When I do it this way, my score is actually out of 100, and basically I try to honestly most of my scores, because they're all good whiskey, to kind of stay around 70 to 100 to be fair, because it's really all good whiskey, so it's kind of hard to go anything under that. But yeah, Joe says Parker's Heritage Rye is what you should use for your old fashioned.
That's what he meant.
Casey says use 1792 small batch.
Do I like 1792?
I think so. It's not bad. It's nice, sweet. It's the kind of flavors that you would enjoy.
Is it?
It is.
I mean, we can try it. I just don't want a grassy tasting old fashioned.
It's not gonna be grassy, that's for sure. Henry Z says Holden always does the most ambitious blinds on whiskey too. Love this kid. You can't.
You gotta do it while you're young.
Yeah, you gotta do it while you're young. You can't skim out.
Oh my god!
That scared me. I don't know why it sounded like glass.
Because it hit the metal.
Yeah. But even Ken is saying Parker's Heritage Rye for the.
Maybe we should switch up.
But
Holden doesn't let me use expensive stuff.
I'll use expensive stuff sometimes, but only if I'm
when you're not mixing.
kind of sipping around. No, I'll mix expensive stuff sometimes if I.
No, I mean like with soda. Unless it's
right. If it's made in an actual cocktail, then I'll do the expensive stuff.
That looks about right?
Maybe a little more. Okay, that's good. Yeah, because it's there you go. And then like that. So now it's kind of yummy.
I need a straw.
Whiskey Uncensored says obviously should use whichever bottle Holden thinks will be number one. Oh, that's a good point. It's a good point. Lots of good points. I still kind of think the idea of you not giving any of those bottles in the blind would have been hilarious.
Oh, it would have been hilarious, but
it's. I sound like I could get done with that and then do another 10.
I wouldn't have been able to do it because unless you went through and used all stuff that was the same proof, you would notice right away.
Yeah, or just same caliber. Because I would be like, oh, this tastes cheap or bad or whatever. But may as well use the Four Roses limited edition. Looks like it is now a bottom shelfer there. It's just behind some things.
The problem, so that all three of these bottles were in the last 10 blinds that we did. So I was going back and forth doing it, and it was annoying. So it just ended up in that order.
Yeah,
is what happened because it was in front the other last live stream, I think.
Something like that. Hanging Easy says the problem with giving friends bottles of whiskey, it's bad luck if you don't get a good pour with them. That's true. That's true. Andrew Coleman is here, says great channel, make the old fashioned with Eagle Rare. Oh,
I was thinking that, but
we
then
should've.
I thought like grape and cherry, is that like good together?
I don't know,
I thought
but
like how you meant, but because it was cherry and cherry.
yeah, I don't know. If you have another one, let's do the Eagle Rare.
Ooh.
But cheers, Andrew. Thanks for being here. Peter White says that's one of the weird Wisconsin old fashions. Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm not drinking a regular.
Wisconsin old fashions kick ass. They do. But that being said, you got 10 whiskeys on the table.
It's like you can just drink a regular old fashioned, but you have to sip it because it's all alcohol. So like, wouldn't you want one that you can chug and then get super hammered?
Yeah, you can just down Wisconsin old fashions and it's
like
awesome.
They're so refreshing. Like you can eat them with any meal, or drink it with any meal too. Like you really can't do that with a regular.
The way you drink a Wisconsin old fashioned is the same way you would drink a beer. Like it's just easy. You don't have to think about it. It just slides down nice and.
We did an old fashioned kit for one of our white elephants this weekend, and it got passed around because people kept getting it, and we used. I made it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was when I got it, but I got Old Forester 100 for it, and then the Wisconsin old fashioned mix. Which I think we sent that to Hangin' AZ, I want to say.
Probably.
Because it was in the one that Taylor and Casey gave us.
Yeah, I think so. I think
because that was when we shoved a bunch of stuff into it, and I think that was...
Yeah. I think that's why he's talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't believe 6 out of 10 bottles I've helped you acquire. Yeah, so the Little Book 7, the Turkey 12, the Baker's 13...
What would you do without Casey?
Woodford Batch Proof, the Knob Creek 18, and technically that Parker's Heritage. I had no idea there was a giveaway. I had no idea there was a line to stand in Casey told me about the line. So, yeah, Casey is a big help with the channel here. But Casey also is going to these crazy places, and he's just like, I don't have the capital to spend on this stuff, but I'll make my friend get it, and then I'll just drink it whenever I want. So,
the heck makes you think that we have it? We're get over it.
Peter says takes me longer to make an old fashioned than a drink of Wisconsin old fashioned. That's true. That's true. I do have the Wisconsin mix from you guys.
We should ask Peter, how far away is Hamilton from Toronto. Is it worth going to Toronto when we go? I need to know.
Derek says all this old-fashioned talk is making him thirsty for a bourbon
Room old-fashioned.
Bourbon
Me
room
and Holden almost
barrel
went
aged old-fashioned. Yeah, maybe we'll go after this.
Oh, sure
We can see if you guys want to go. We'll go after this. I'm not gonna be too bad. But that being said,
be after these 9 old-fashions.
I do want a small warm-up whiskey because what I've noticed on the other blinds is that
You know what we should do? We should do a live stream where it's just me comparing old-fashioned mix old-fashioned. We should do a old-fashioned mix, like the mix itself that you buy, a comparison. What's it called?
head-to-head
No,
blind battle.
like a battle.
A battle. Yeah. So I am gonna warm up with a little bit of Four Roses 135 LE because the second time I had it, it felt like it opened up a little bit. So maybe this time I have it.
But it wasn't good enough. So.
But it wasn't good enough. But I do want to warm up the palate before I get into this stuff because, like I said, on all the other days, it's like glasses 1, 2, and 3 would get low points, and then when I go back the other way, they'd get so much higher points that they kind of just need to open up, and my nose and palate is opened up. Beating can come too. Whiskey Insider says, in my opinion, Little Book 7 that's a thumbs down. In my opinion, Little Book 7 is thumbs down.
Little
Really.
Book is the first. We should let everyone know the ones that were already in that like worked their way to this.
Okay. Yes. So so the way I have this set up, I forgot to mention that, is there are basically seeds. So I put them in order 1 to 25 of the way I perceive them in my head from when I've drank them and like everything I did, paid for them, all that kind of stuff. I put them in order in seeds. Number 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 seed. Basically I take the bottom 10, 25 to 15. I put them in a blind, and the bottom 5 of those blind were my bottom 5 whiskeys of the year. And well, not bottom 5, but they were 25, 24, 23, 22, and 21. And then the top 5 of those 10 moved on. So I took the top 5 of that blind and I put them in a blind against the next 5 seeds. Battled them out. The worst 5 of that went into the list, and the best 5 of that moved on to battle the next 5 seeds. So then those ones battled, and then so some of these bottles could be within the entire blind, but the 5 bottles that started in seeds 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the Elijah Craig C923, the Parker's Heritage Barrel Strength Rye, the Little Book Chapter 7, the Baker's 13, and the Knob Creek 18. Because every time I drank those bottles this year, it made my head spin of how good they were. So I figured they deserve the top 5. And then the other ones that are coming from, they beat a bunch of other bottles to get here, are the 2J Henrys, the Russell's 13, the Woodford Batch Proof, and the Turkey 12. So that being said,
we need to write that down. Holden was really talking fast there. I think that's the fastest we've ever talked.
I talk fast all the time. Oh, no, it was a bad idea. Eating cereal this morning.
Why?
Because the roof of my mouth is all scarred up.
Why?
So now, from when you eat cereal.
Can you not eat cereal properly?
Everyone knows that the roof of your mouth gets all marred up when you eat cereal.
Why is it up in your mouth? Why don't you just take
the roof of your mouth?
Your teeth?
Some people's kids, I tell you.
Some people's kids.
45-minute, no traffic, 2 hours during heavy traffic.
Okay, so it's like trying to go to Chicago.
I hope Leadfoot Lauren is driving. Oh, Lauren's far from Leadfoot. She always yells at me when I try to be fast and furious.
Okay, but I don't care if you're going fast. I go fast. I just can't fucking stand weaving in and out of traffic and feeling like I'm gonna die all the time.
Okay. Robin is here, says cheers all, happy holidays. Cheers, Merry Christmas, belated. Even though I saw you yesterday and said it to you yesterday. But Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
I need a snack. Like some cookies.
Well, maybe if you didn't eat all the cookies already, you'd have some.
What the heck?
Derek says sometimes I order based just on the coolness of the bottle. That's true. He loves his bottles. Engineering teacher is here, says it's a year of Jim Beam and Elijah Craig Batch. C923.
Maybe this guy can teach you.
True.
Things.
Hey, no. I know plenty. That's rude. But cheers, engineering teacher. Thanks for being here. I'm an engineer myself. But that being said,
Holden showed me his desk today, and it's just fucking shit everywhere.
That's what happens.
Naked lady on the wall.
There are 2 naked ladies. Oh, sorry. Martha. What the heck? I'm stepping on them. Okay, so that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get into this whiskey because it's time. It's time that I taste the 10 best whiskeys in the bourbon bar. So, starting on the nose.
I don't remember what they were. Can I have the paper? Can you cut it off? I have to follow along so I know if I need to make fun of you.
The thing is, I'm not going to be doing too much notes on these. I will give some notes if I smell them, and I'll give my overall, gist of them. But overall, it's going to be really just how I feel about them on a whim, because it's kind of hard to go in depth when you're doing a blind this big. But what I can tell you is, this one feels like it's got a right body. It's got some fruit notes and some spice.
What is it out of?
100. We're going 0 to 100, but I pretty much keep everything between the 70 and 100 mark because these are all such good whiskeys. I almost feel bad giving them bad scores. And because they're just so good, it's hard to, when you smell something amazing, it's hard to go anything under 80. You know what I mean? But when you smell one that's good but not amazing, that's when I can dip into the 70s a little bit. But that being said, glass 1, going with an 82 on the nose. Okay, a little bit of oak notes. That fruitiness is coming in on the palate too. I actually enjoy that a lot. I'll go with 85 on the palate for that one. I also got my sparkling water here. That'll cleanse the palate in between everything. So this is what I would do instead of just do it in front of the TV the other day. Actually, the other 3 days. So this is actually the 4th blind of 10 that I've done in this past week and a half, 2 weeks. But moving on to the nose of glass B here. Okay, this one. This one you can smell the body, butterscotch bomb. Doesn't seem overly complex, but it does seem like it's got a lot to offer in flavor and potency-wise. Kind of reminds me of what a J. Henry would be. Go with an 86 on the nose of this one. Moving on to the palate. Okay, palate seems a little thinner, but there is a more oaky presence in there. It is a little bit drying on the palate there, not too super tannic, but a little bit. I don't know if it's quite as nice as the first glass, so I'm going, but it is really good still. I'll go with an 84 on the palate of that one. Just 1 point under the last one. The faster I do these two, the better my brain is at remembering how I feel about them. Which was a problem when I was doing it the first time because I'd kind of wait longer in between them and then I'd forget what the last one tasted like. The old pirate bourbon says, "I'm new to your channel, Barry."
You must hang an AZ's comment.
Well, he was talking to your dad. That's why I skipped it. But which is the coolest bottle out there. I'm new to your channel. Very big fan already. Keep up the awesome videos and live chats. Hey, Old Pirate Bourbon, thank you so much. And I appreciate you being here. We both do. We always love having newcomers and old comers and all the people coming. What?
We yell a lot.
We do yell a lot. It's part of the fun. We try to show a good time
We
here.
don't yell off camera unless Holden pisses me off.
That's true. But thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Yeah, that's what I appreciate about you. Hey, it depends on how much I've had, and I'm such a sucker for a good story or a flashy label. That's true. If a whiskey has a story behind it, Derek really loves that. Don't forget to smash that like button, folks. Yes, lick the like and like the like. You guys know how it's done.
Sure, he's not here. Is he?
Yeah, you know what? I don't think I did see Sugar Hoodie
Who
yet.
does he think he
What
is?
the heck?
Missing our
Missing
show.
this a big important one, but you know what?
That's
It is
okay.
the
Joe's
holidays.
Here, so.
Joe is in fact here. Mr. Lopez says, "What's up, Bourbon
Joe's
Bar?"
my best friend.
And all hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and cheers. Mr. Lopez, thanks for being here, man. You as well. I hope everyone in the chat had a Merry Christmas. But thank you for the wishes. Anyways, he says, I must say, I really think the smoke wagon bottles are cool. They do look
And
cool.
I doubt he's ever had a smoke wagon.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Casey has a smoke wagon, so.
Okay, does my dad go over to Casey's house and hang
No,
out with
but
Casey
maybe
and
he
taste all
should.
Casey's whiskey?
Maybe he should. That's all I'm
My
saying.
dad next to Casey has got to be like looking up at a mountaintop.
True. Okay. Glass 3 on the nose. Very nice. Has the body of glass 2 with the complexity of glass 1. It definitely feels like there's more going on in it. It also fits my profile. Caramel, brown sugary, a little bit of like a red fruit cherry. I'm going with an 88 for the nose of glass 3. Okay, palate, oak, cherries, vanilla, really good. There's a lot of going on in there. Proof is nice, full body experience. First one in the 90s, I'm gonna give that one a 91 on the palate. That so far is looking pretty good. I like in glass 3. Hey, Azisa also says, driftless bottles really catch my eye as well. Yes, I actually did have a driftless bottle in the lineup in the previous, but I can't look at it. Or no, you ripped the answer page out, right?
I did.
So I can turn back
Yeah,
on here and I'm not
you
going to see
want it.
anything. Yeah, so the driftless rye, my single barrel driftless rye, actually did quite good. Only 2 bottles away from being in this blend. It got in spot number 12 for Whiskey of the Year. So driftless has been doing some good stuff. Casey says, anyone have an ECBP C923 they can ship to him? Yeah, Casey's in dire straits. He needs one. Whiskey and Such said, if you like the YouTube channel, you should see their OnlyFans. Yes, indeed. Check out the OnlyFans. Or if you just want to subscribe to the Bourbon Bar's YouTube channel, there is a join button on there. You can join for just
funny would it be
a couple dollars a
if
month.
we did OnlyFans, but we did like sexy bourbon videos. Like we dressed our bourbon bottles up in like lingerie.
And then we like unbuttoned
And
like
we,
the shirt of the bourbon
Ooh.
bottle. And then we
How funny
like
would that be?
we pulled out the cork and it's
And
like dripping wet,
yeah,
right?
and we pour it and it's like splashing and it's all over the cup.
That would be really funny, wouldn't it?
That would be funny. We should do one and put it on TikTok.
We should.
I love me
Why would you throw your straw on the
I don't
floor?
know what
Myrtle's down there.
happened.
Were you drinking out of the straw? Or did you drink out of the cup?
No.
Okay, well
I
then.
was drinking out of the straw. I just wasn't drinking when it
Okay,
fell.
I will get you a new straw.
I don't know what happened, guys.
Lauren's already cut off.
I'm not cut off.
I'm gonna have to put a nipple on there so she can only have a little bit at a time. A little
What if
baby
we got
nipple.
a fake boob and we squeeze bourbon out of it?
That's gonna have to go on the OnlyFans. Hanging AZ says I like those old Timmy snake bottles or old timey.
I thought you were gonna
snake
end
oil
at
bottles.
old titty.
Old titties. Who doesn't love a pair of good old titties?
Old titties, the hang.
And I don't know what snake oil bottles you're talking about, but I'm sure I agree. That being said, let's get glass 4 on the nose. Hold on. Okay, now let's get glass 4 on the nose.
What happened?
I burped.
Thanks for sharing that on the internet. That's exactly what they wanted.
Oh, I feel like this is a problem I feel like I always have on these blinds of 10. It feels like once my palate gets warmed up, I start liking these more and more. And I can't tell if it's because of the fact that they're bottles I like or if it's because they just keep getting better and better the way Lauren pours them. But glass 4 on the nose. Actually busting into a little bit more of a lighter fruit and a butterscotch. This one could have some light rye notes. Really enjoying what's going on in the nose here. I want to say go 87 on the nose. That's good on the palate.
On the palate.
Okay, palate's very good too. Body, a little bit of rice spice, a little bit of a clove spice in there. Oak presence, there. Overall, very good. I don't think it's quite as good as the glass 3 that I had, but it is significantly better than glass 1 and 2. I'm going to go with, let's go right around 89 points on the palette for glass 4. But
I feel like you're favoriting glass 3.
yeah, because it's the best one I had so far.
Yeah,
that's why I'm
but
favoriting
you
it.
were more excited for this last one, and your
Well, it wasn't.
points this where you're like, oh yes, they just keep getting better and better every time one pours them. I wonder what she did.
Well, I said that on the nose, and I was only 1 point under glass 3 in the nose, and I also said on the nose, it's not quite as good as glass 3, but it's just like, once you got past 1 and 2, it's like 3 and 4 weren't even in the same weight class, is what I meant. Whiskey Uncensored said it's not. It's more like they make a video every couch holding flips. True. You never know. Maybe we do. You just have to.
I don't understand where that comment came
You just have to do. It's on our OnlyFans. That's what we do on our OnlyFans. We break in all the couches.
Why this couch with our sex juices on it?
I feel like the rest of it was all innuendos, and you really just took it to home base, didn't you? By the way, we gotta order some beaver mustard for the flight.
We have to order. I can order some right now.
Yeah, Spiking Bourbon is in chat. Says cheers, folks. Spiking Bourbon, how are you now? How's your Christmas weather? You enjoy all the rain and 50-degree temperatures here in Wisconsin when it should be snowing? Because I know we didn't. Bourbon says I looked at making OnlyFans instead of a Patreon until I found out they take 20% of everything. Yeah, well, YouTube takes 30%, I think, of everything. So that's cool too. And he says snake oil was cure-all potions they used to sell people from back of a wagon. Yeah, it sounds like definitely something that would kill you, for sure. But that being said, let's get glass 5 on the nose. Okay, glass 5 on the nose. Very nice. Cherry vanilla, like a cherry chip. Goodness, oak, presence. Oh, brown sugar. Glass 5, loving the nose, best nose so far. Give it an 89 points on the nose. Moving on to the ballot.
What should we dip in our beaver mustard?
Oh, palate. Lots of red fruit. Oak coming through. Full-bodied. A little bit of like a chocolatey, a little bit of a nutmeg spice. Loving the palate. I think that palate's just about as good as glass 3. I'm going to go ahead and give it honestly, I'll give it a 91 points. Again, I don't know if it's quite better. I don't know if it deserves 92, but it's definitely as good as. So, and we should dip pretzels and hors d'oeuvres, like little pieces of dehydrated bread. We can maybe get some crackers.
I'm sorry, what the fuck is dehydrated bread?
That's what an hors d'oeuvre is. You take like French bread and you like put it in the oven and like bake it. It's like dehydrated.
That's a crouton.
Hors d'oeuvres are not croutons.
Is an hors d'oeuvre not just like a fancy name for appetizer? Like when they pass out of the plate?
No, an hors d'oeuvre is like the bread.
Guys, someone please tell me if he's wrong because I'm so confused. It says hors d'oeuvres on the top of fancy menus. And it's not just bread. And what the fuck is dehydrated?
No,
it's just stale, crunchy bread.
It's bread with a spread or bread with a dip. Okay? Gosh, it's like a fancy bread that you put like dips on and stuff. And you put it in like cheese and whatever. You know? It's like having a charcuterie board.
Okay, I'm just going to get this one. It's a pack of 4 for $20.
Okay, Hanging Easy says couch fetish. Oh my, look at all those cushions. Oh my gosh. Viking Bourbon says I'm in Florida this week. Can't. Man, I don't know if I want to be in Florida for. Are you specifically there for Christmas? Like you enjoy a warm Christmas, or you just there coincidentally because you go there? Because honestly, even the warm weather here in Wisconsin was throwing me off my Christmas game. I don't know if I could live in a warm weather climate during Christmas time. It would F me up for sure. Hank said I could go for some beaver mustard on a ham sandwich right now. Derek says he'll send over some beaver horseradish.
Good, because there's no horseradish in this one. I have cranberry, classic yellow, Dijon, and honey. But the rest of them are like, their shipping's not gonna get here.
Bourbon says there's a whiskey or is beaver mustard a euphemism? No, it's a serious
beaver
thing.
mustard. Real fans would understand.
Yeah, it's definitely a real thing. Beaver mustard is by far something that I don't know if I've been wanting to try, but it's something I get to try now that I
don't know.
didn't
We
do
talked
too
about
well
that, like
on the
6 months ago
thing.
on here.
Yeah.
But it was like a thing, and Holden doesn't like mustard, so that's why it's a punishment for sucking so much.
Yeah, I got, what did I get on the Advent? 55 points?
Not very good.
It was like mid-50s. I just missed that 60-point mark, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
But I'm in Florida this week. Can't wait for snow in Wisconsin so I can do some biking.
I'll tell you what, it ain't snowing yet. Rain today.
Yeah, we actually have a tea time to golf outside tomorrow at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
Outside in Wisconsin in December. That doesn't happen ever. I mean, I'm grateful, but
can you go get me some more ice?
we are fresh out of ice.
Can you make me some ice?
I will pull ice out of somewhere. Then that means you're gonna have to entertain these people.
That sounds nasty. Okay, guys, what am I gonna put in my next old fashioned? Are we gonna use the Eagle Rare, or are we gonna use the or are we gonna use the, oh gosh, there's too many here, I can't pick.
Yeah, we actually don't have any. We had like 2 cubes.
Well, that's better than nothing.
Because you give them all to our dog.
I'm sorry, Ducky likes ice.
We do have some frozen carrots, so if you just want to mix in the frozen carrots in there, you can do that. But it might taste a little funny.
What are we?
That being said,
in my
Hannity says nope, a real brand.
of mustard.
Oh yes, of mustard. It is a real brand of mustard. Joe says it's appetizers.
Exactly.
We don't get snow only in March and April. Yeah, for real. What's up with that? That's BS. Are you thinking bruschetta? No, I know what bruschetta is. It's just that I worked at a
fake Italian restaurant.
No, I worked at a supper club, and what they call hors d'oeuvres at supper clubs are usually a tray of crackers and spreads that you can put on the crackers that you eat before your dinner.
It's an hors d'oeuvre because it's like a before dinner snack.
Okay, well that's what it was. So
God, use your brain.
Did I call the crackers hors d'oeuvres? No.
You're not
I
deep
said,
enough into this.
I just said
we can
make
go
it,
back because you called the dried up bread with a dip the hors d'oeuvre, and then that was it. That's all
Actually, I didn't.
Oh, Lord.
I said we can make dehydrated breads like hors d'oeuvres. I didn't call them hors d'oeuvres. I said like hors d'oeuvres. I got it on technicality. On that
I'm
one.
gonna finish these fucking
Also,
whiskeys.
Eagle Rare for the one next old fashioned here.
Holden's gonna get his dick chopped off tonight. It's gonna be on our OnlyFans, so you guys better watch it.
Yeah, we're not having kids, I guess.
Get them from someone else.
Who else? Oh my goodness. You know how many bottles of Eagle Rare I've found recently? Of course, now that I don't need them anymore for myself, I found like a lot. Is that enough?
I don't know. I don't know if I put enough simple syrup in it.
Well, that soda seems a little sweeter than our average sour soda. But that being said, in Florida, visiting in-laws, father-in-law just diagnosed with terminal blood cancer. Oh man, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least you get to have some time with them and Christmas and stuff like that. So that's good. 62 degrees in Phoenix today. It was 45 this morning. Yeah, it was 45 at some point today, right? Here.
It was kind of cold today, but only because it was like
only because it was so hot yesterday. Rainy. It is good mustard, sweet and spicy. I don't like spicy. Never golfed on a course with snow hazard. When I was in high school, I did golf in spring when there was still snow on the ground, and I'd lost my ball in a few snowbanks. So Peter says, I feel like I'm in London, England during a werewolf movie. The fog has been so heavy the last 2 days. Yeah, us too. In Wisconsin, like
someone on the radio said it's okay if we foggy on Christmas because in the song it goes, "Then one foggy Christmas Eve.
Santa came to say, ho, 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 Rudolph with your nose. Okay, anyway. Derek says, Lauren, we use the Russells for old fashions.
I know.
Well, I don't have any normal Russells though. That's a single barrel. That's hard to find. Harder to find. It's really good stuff. Strangely, I had enough fog here in the 2 days after the big rainstorm. Bino says to fight nice. We will. We'll try, Bino. That's a relish tray with bread and crackers. There, yeah, I know that.
Remember when we went to that one place and the relish tray was like pasta salad and cheese or something like that?
I think it says, what if you
want dinner?
Why does want have an apostrophe?
Maybe he's drinking Tennessee.
What if you won't want dinner? What if you want dinner? I don't know. What time does one eat supper at? Is it a late dinner?
Oh, is it because people in Wisconsin call it supper and other people call it dinner?
Maybe it is. I don't know. Casey says, Taylor's cousins and uncles still want more eagle if you can see them, or if you see them. Well, the way I've been going, I'm sure I will see more eagles, so let's make sure I buy them next time I see them.
The eagles all roll over now.
Whiskey blender Nancy Fraley is here, says Master Blender Nancy Fraley here. I am seeing the new J. Henry and Sons rye whiskey on the table. Or am I? Or I am. It's actually the limited edition. So not the rye, but it is the 2023 limited edition.
If Holden closes his eyes, I can flash the number that they are for you, so you know which one he's looking at.
And it's this year's La Flamme. So I don't know which ones are which, but I can tell you that both the La Flamme has made it through 3 tier brackets in the blind so far. And the limited edition, the limited edition was in the last seed of tier brackets and made it to move on to this round. And so they're both in the final round, meaning they're both making my top 10 of the year.
These are the only 2 Wisconsin whiskeys that made it this far.
That's true. The Driftless Glen Rye fell back last round. So these 2 are kicking butt and taking names. Very good whiskeys from them.
Do you think she just watched us fight?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Area 1 says merry things and stuff like that. Cheers, Area 1. Thanks for being here. And yes, merry things to you as well. Haney Z says always bring an orange ball.
Did we miss that?
I feel like I missed something. I don't know what an orange ball has to do with anything. I can't spell hungover and I went to a public school. That's fair. I don't know what the orange ball thing is about, though. To be fair.
Do I have orange? Is this my orange ball? This is kind of
I don't know what orange ball he's talking about, but Whiskey Blender Fraley says awesome. I'm thrilled that both the J. Henry Ellie and La Flamme are in there. Yes, and they're very good. Honestly, they last round they both did very well to make the top 5s.
Yes, they were right next to each other.
Yeah, I think, and I actually think La Flamme was on top.
Yeah.
And top of the limited edition. But that being said, let's go on to glass 6 on the nose. Glass 6, a little bit thinner than glass 5 and 4. Still great notes on it though. I think probably better than glass 1 and 2. I definitely want to say there's a little bit of like a light fruity note, a little bit of a tobacco-y note. Not a whole lot of oak presence, but very good. Let's go with an 87 points on the nose. Let's get on the palate.
Oh, I got his thing now. Oh, I found a pink ball once, and I go with that.
Okay, on the palate, a little bit thinner. The notes. I feel like there's a little bit of light fruit, a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of oak in there, but not quite as potent as the rest of them. The body is down a little bit. Let's go with an even 87 points on that as well. 87 points on the palate, 87 on the nose. Golfing the snow. Definitely use colored balls because obviously the white ones don't work. I personally really like the red and orange balls when I'm doing that. And thanks, Pino. Thank you. Holden is a J. Henry fanboy. Post show. I do have
waited in line for like a million hours for the limited edition.
That's true.
It was okay though.
It was a long wait.
The tacos were literally.
It was really fun.
The tacos made it all worth it.
Yeah.
And my hot chocolate.
It was really fun getting to the point of waiting in the line, But we didn't
and
realize.
We got the car, we're like, yay! And then
an hour and a half later, we finally got it. To be fair, we didn't realize that you could walk up and purchase it, and we had our car
It was our
online.
first time. We lost our virginities there.
Next year we'll not have to wait in line as long. But moving on to glass 7 on the nose.
And it was cold that day, but it's warm now.
Oh.
Ugh.
Glass 7 is hitting all the right spots here on the nose. Actually, it might be the first one in the 90 category. It's got red fruit, like a candied red fruit. It's got a little bit of like a vanilla sugar. It's got a little bit of caramel. Oak, sweet oak. Let's go with 90 points even on the nose. Moving on to the palate. Oh. I'm getting a little bit of that tannic oak up front. Not super tannic, but a little bit drying in the mouth. But a lot of good red fruits up front, finishing with a little bit of nutmeg spice, a little bit of red fruit is there. It does have that sweet caramel in there as well. Really good. Honestly, 92 points on the palate. Glass 7 is looking like a hard contender for the lead here. But moving on to glass 8 on the nose. So we're almost done with our first way through at 51 minutes in. So maybe I'll have to pick up the pace a little bit. But we did spend some time with you pouring and stuff. So I'm actually
last week you got to have a 3-hour live stream, but once I'm on here, you don't want to have a 3-hour live stream.
We can have a 3-hour live stream if you want. It's just
hammered.
that the reason Casey and I had a 3-hour live stream is because we kind of got lost in the abyss of trying whiskeys. Whereas, like, I can't just sit here and drink whiskey by myself all night while you're just sitting there having an old fashioned.
I'm running out of ice.
I know. It's like your last old fashioned that you're allowed to have. By the way, how is it with the? Actually, after I taste this one, I'll taste it. Is it as good as the 92?
I don't know. That wasn't really anything special either.
Wow.
Yeah.
Unreal. Okay, on the nose.
I wouldn't wait in line for a few hours to purchase this.
That old fashioned?
Yeah.
This one I really am enjoying. A little bit of like a bready note, a little bit of like a softer cherry note on this one, a little bit of cinnamon spice, like almost like a pastry. I want to say there's a little bit of maybe a stone fruit in here too. But I'm going to go with 88 points on the nose. Moving on to the palate here. Oh, the palate's nice, fruity. Oak presence is there. The fruit, honestly, I feel like there's a stone fruit in this glass. I don't know which one to say. Possibly like a mango-y, maybe. I don't know a lot of stone fruits, but that's the vibe I get when I think stone fruit. Let's go with 89 points on the palate of that one.
I really like stone fruit.
I actually don't mind stone fruit at all.
I'm a person. I don't really even know what an apricot tastes like. What's another one?
Peaches.
Plums.
Although plums, when I say stone fruit, I don't think plums. Because plums, I'll say plum. If I mean plum, I'll say plum.
Do you even know what a plum tastes like?
I've eaten a gazillion plums in my lifetime.
When have you eaten plums? I've never seen you eat a plum.
Growing up.
Remember that episode of Modern Family? He's like, I never had a bad plum all season. And they're like dripping down his face, and he's like, ah!
But that being said, let's get glass 9 in the nose. Oh, glass 9 came to show up with a little bit more funky notes in this one. Now, this is another one that has some rye notes in it. A little bit of like some herbaceousness and light fruit, but definitely an oak presence in there as well. A little bit of that rye spice, but still full-bodied. Let's go. Oh, man. I don't even know. It's so different than the rest of them, but it's not in a bad way, you know? Let's think about complexity as well. Okay, let's go 87 points on the nose of this one. Moving on to the palate. Ooh, palate's where I like it. Oak, rye spice, light fruit coming through, caramel, a little bit of clove, full-bodied, good proof. Palate's definitely, I think, better than the nose on this one. Go 91 on the palate of number 9.
You're just dripping away.
I know, I dripped all over myself there. Now I'm all wet.
We're making the OnlyFans after this video.
After this video. Anyway, what's everyone drinking tonight, by the way? And also, how's everyone's Christmases, if that's what you guys celebrate? I'd love to hear what you guys got, if you get any presents. What did I get?
Nothing.
I was a bad boy this year, wasn't I?
There was no presents under the tree for you.
I know. I did get some money, obviously.
We went to the fancy restaurant.
We went to a fancy restaurant, which I'll tell you guys after this glass, because this is number 10, and I want a small break before I go back through.
For everyone too. Like the menu.
Yeah. Oh, yes, you're right about that. So let's get glass 10 on the nose. Okay. Oh. There's something in there that I really enjoy. I want to say there's like a brown sugar cinnamon on the nose here. A little bit of like that sweet oak. A little bit of light red fruit. Oh, caramel. I like that. Nose 91. I think it's the best nose I had. But let's get it on the palate. Palate actually felt a little bit simpler there, at least in terms of proof. Flavors are all there, though. Very rich oak flavors. Maybe want to call it more of that, like, butterscotch with brown sugar in it. I want to say that, like, that brown sugar cinnamon kind of vibe that I get. Like, when I was young, I used to do brown sugar cinnamon over buttered toast, and that was a vibe for sure. And this... I'm actually going to have to go in for a second sip on this one because this is really nice. Okay, raw opinion. A little bit of chocolate on there too. Going with 90 points even on glass 10. So, round 1 is up. And quite frankly, lots of good whiskeys here today. But that being said...
Here, I'll add them up while you talk.
Yeah, let's write total on the top of that other column. And
why? So you can not get... I need the pen.
There you go. Yeah, so I'll tell a story now. So we went to a place called Salt, which is actually kind of in the Fox Valley, kind of in Kaukauna, I think, technically, close to Appleton. For those of you who live in Wisconsin. For those of you who don't, it's south of Green Bay. Anyway, very, very good restaurant. So what they do is actually their thing is they cook their steaks depending on... They have 3 different steak options that you can choose from to be cooked this way, but they have a block of salt that they sear it on. So like they heat up the salt, almost like cooking it on a stone, but they have a block of salt instead. They cook it on the salt or they sear it on the salt. And if I am being 100% honest, it's the best steak I've ever had in my entire life. And I'm not exaggerating. I haven't had a whole lot of steaks, mind you, but I've had enough to tell you guys that one tasted so freaking good. Why is this calling down here? Anyway, it tastes so good. Honestly, I can't wait to go back. Lauren got some chicken with some kind of like sauce and stuff, and they had a great asparagus and mashed. Oh, they had these garlic mashed potatoes that were to die for. But the story that Lauren's referring to is I got the menu and I looked at the whiskeys they had, the available allocation whiskeys they had, and they had I can't remember the first one, but it was $50 for a glass, And then they had Thomas H. Handy that was $50 for a glass. And I'm like, okay, I see what their prices are like. And then they had George T. Stagg. Literally said George T. Stagg. $20 a glass. You could probably believe how shocked I was. And I'm like, if they actually have that, I'm going to get it. Obviously, I thought that they were probably talking about Stagg Jr. And I even asked the waitress if it was a big, tall bottle or a short, fat bottle. She didn't know, so she went back and asked. It turned out they were out of it anyway. I'm guessing it was Stagg Jr., normal Stagg.
I'm just a fucking idiot.
But they wrote George T. Stagg on it, and if I could get a bottle, or if I could get a pour of George T. Stagg for $20, I'd probably just buy the whole bottle. To be fair, like, awesome. But according to Holden, you sent Brent Elliott packing.
Who's Brent Elliott?
Who is Brent Elliott?
Is it another YouTuber?
Or is it a blender?
Where? Guys, don't use smart words because Holden doesn't understand that.
You might need to refresh my brain.
10 sips in, okay? This is more than normal.
Joe says drinking the HTL or small batch. No. Oh, he's drinking it. I thought he was saying that I was drinking it in this.
Why are you gagging? Don't you have a bottle of that?
Here's the thing.
You do.
That's not a bad bottle. But E.H. Taylor single barrel, or at least the one I have, absolutely spanks the crap out of small batch. Every time.
Read Chris's.
Oh, I see. Okay, Joe, I'm sorry for gagging. I hope you're enjoying. I hope you're enjoying your small batch. Today. I am. Good show, you too. Thanks, Pino. Cheers. Peter White says LCBO gift cards. So it looks like either Kentucky Owl Batch 12 or Little Book 7. LB has the edge because of the Kentucky Owl price, despite the clearance price here.
I'm losing brain cells watching Holden trying to read. It's so funny.
Little Book has the edge because of Kentucky Owl prices. Gotcha. Definitely, I like the Little Book for sure. Go with the Little Book. What is he saying? What is LCBO? I'm just so confused. Whiskey Blender Fairly, caution, this channel is almost as bad as Neighborhood. Almost as bad a neighborhood as my own to hang out in. Cheers. That's true. Absolutely wild in here. Brent Elliott is the master distiller for Four Roses.
Okay, so to be fair, I was the first one to say that Four Roses was disgusting.
To be fair, I've been known to not like spicy whiskeys as much as I've liked a sweeter palate. Now, Fred Minnick said his favorite Bookers, Fred Minnick said that 2023-04 was such a good Bookers this year and is going in his top 100, and I didn't like it. I thought it was maybe the third best this year. He also said that this year's Four Roses is also a very large contender in the top 100, top 10-esque. And
it was like
didn't love it.
20 something on here.
It was low. So basically, what I'm trying to get at is everyone's palate's different. I know Fred Minnick likes a spicier bottle,
out of 25,
and I don't. So that being said,
smells like shit.
Yes, Whiskey Blender Fraley absolutely kicked the crap out of Brent Elliott when it comes to the limited release
That's
this
what
year.
happens when women take charge of things. They do better.
Yes, indeed. Female power, baby. Jinx. Merry Christmas, all from down under. Chris, cheers, man. Thanks for being here. Merry Christmas.
Are pretty similar to them versus us.
That's true. Oh, they're in summer, so their temperatures are probably 80.
You think?
Or 90. Yeah, around this time.
They're
like 90 degrees. Peter White, hard pass to Kentucky Owl 12. I honestly haven't had any Kentucky Owl apart from the Meister. I think we agreed.
Was he drinking before the stream? No.
No.
This is just him. This is just Holden, okay?
First of all, I actually don't feel very drunk or buzzed or anything. But to be fair, I have hardly eaten today. That being said,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Liquor Control Board Ontario. Gotcha. That makes more sense. So that's who's controlling the prices, which is why he wanted to choose Little Book over Kentucky.
Peter that was asking that?
Yeah. Fred Minnick will put anything in his top 100 as long as he paid. True, but
is that how he works?
the thing is, no. Well, he gets most things sent to him. I mean, he gets literally the Buffalo Trace and Tea Collection sent to him.
So how does he have money?
And samples.
You can have as much bourbon as you want.
Because he does bourbon shows all around the country.
People pay him, and he gets.
Remember, he came to the rest center here.
No, he came to the Epic Center.
Or the Epic Center.
Which isn't anything.
Well, when all you're doing is tasting bourbon, it's pretty fancy.
Why didn't you go to that?
Because you didn't buy me tickets.
Fuck
I don't know. It was mid-August.
You yourself tickets.
It was in August. It was when I was still working at fucking Menards.
I don't understand. It was a second job that you didn't like. You just don't show up some days.
If he came back to the Epic Center, I'd go 100 times out of 10. Because like it would just be fun. I don't go to whiskey events that often, you know. Joe says, "Listen, you hate the Four Roses, so I'll take it off your hands." No. Peter White, that said, I did not like the Little Book 7, though I seem to be in the minority. I like Little Book 7, but I actually haven't revisited it since I opened it, I don't think. So, wherever it is in here is going to be basically my second time drinking it, basically. And I drink it with Casey, that's why it's so low.
Oh. Damn, Casey.
Yes, that is how he is paid. Yes. And he's paid, like he's got reviews, he's got Patreon, he's got all this stuff. I mean, the Bourbon Junkies, all they do is YouTube. And they don't whatever, but
why don't you make that much money?
Because not enough people join the Bourbon Bar's membership, clearly.
They would join more if you changed the channel to the Lauren Show.
But you know what? Now that I'm done with Advent, I can finally get some more merch and stuff.
You know what? If you don't have a freaking Lauren Show shirt out like that, I'm leaving the channel. I'm going to start my own channel and take all of our calls.
Joe says it costs a lot to go to the Fred events. I think it was $90.
No, it wasn't that expensive.
It's like $90.
But you could purchase back like meet and greet, and
those
were
you can purchase the higher ones where he gives you like.
I don't even think they were $90. They were like really cheap. So I was like, why the fuck aren't you going? And then they're probably like $50. I think they were $70, which to me is cheap. Anyway, they were $70, but the meet and greet ones were like
Can we look back?
They were I want to say they were like $200. They were like obnoxiously expensive for a whiskey drinker.
Can I pen back?
No, what the fuck does this look like?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would go. I mean, so I'm paying a couple dollars to get to taste some samples and drink along with someone who's really, really good at his job. Like, why not?
You could have TikToked your experience.
I could have TikToked my experience. Derek says, I am proud of Bourbon Bar member since 2023. Yes, he is, and thank you for being one.
T-shirts that say, I'm a proud member of the Bourbon Bar, then 2023, and then we can keep it going, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
2024 since 2025.
That's true. Well, and for the members that are in the higher tier members of the Bourbon Bar, they can get that shirt for free.
That's such a good idea.
I can get, I'm a proud member of the Bourbon Bar, and I'll be in like
a big old QR
in like the $7
so can...
in the $7 tier, and I can put it so after like 2 months in that tier, you can get the free shirt. Joe says that's how you know Holden is a tater. So it's hard to see the emojis. Yeah, it is. And I almost read it as a potato. And I'm like, I'm not a freaking potato. What the fuck? That's how you know Holden's a tater. Can't get rid of a bottle he doesn't even like. I like it. You gotta stop saying I don't like it, because I do like it. It's
Holden likes everything. The only two things I've ever heard him say he doesn't like was the Four Roses, and he turns around and says he likes it. And then was the what was the other one? It was
Timekeeper.
Ezra or
it was Timekeepers.
No, it was Ezra.
Oh, it was. I said
one of those ones.
No, I said I didn't understand the hype of Remus because it's good, but it's not that good.
No, there was one
I didn't like Rebel.
It was Rebel, but then you turned around and liked it again.
Yeah, after like months of it being open.
Because you never went back to it.
No, like it opened up.
2 days later, you wouldn't have known.
Here's the thing. They do taste different after they're open for a while, but the one thing I didn't like about Four Roses, and the reason I had such hatred toward it, not hatred, but like the reason why I wasn't psyched about it, I paid $200 for it. And for $200, it tasted as good as like one of my other $60 bottles. Like for $60 bottle, it would be phenomenal.
That's why it's $20.
I'd buy it every single day of the week.
Gosh.
But $200? $200? You should have put that one in the advent calendar. That would have You could have, because I would have had to guess how much I'd pay for it.
Oh yeah.
That would have been a true telltale sign.
I don't think you had it yet when we were doing hours and stuff in the calendar.
Maybe not. But that being said, Chris Taft says you need to get the 10 recipe sample pack of 4 roses and really try each individual profile, not the batched, and you may find the 4 roses that you like. Well, I do like. I have some single barrels in that are different recipes. I think it's OESV and OESK. I think for my single barrels, and I do like them. But I like them because when nowadays they're getting more and more expensive. But at the time, I paid $80 for a barrel strength bourbon that was really good. So like, of course I liked it. But 200 is just a lot. Joe says you must have missed your last live stream. You talked a lot of crap about it. Yes, because it does hurt someone to spend $200 on a whiskey that's not phenomenal.
Holden was talking crap. That's actually surprising to me because he doesn't even really talk crap about people.
Casey says having some Baker's 13 and Knob 18. Well, good man. As you should. As you should.
One at a time. As we talk. 10 at a time. Oh my lord.
Okay, so we are about to start round 2 here. Just gonna make the table and then get it started. So now we're going to be going back the way we came. Bottle 10 to 1. And then after that, we just got to add them up and figure out who's winning this thing. So.
I want a snack and your big ass is in my way. I'll be back with it.
Okay, Lauren's going to be back with a snack. And I'm going to go ahead and get back started with this. So we are starting on number 10 on the nose. And we're going to write that to number 1. And then after that, we will go ahead and figure out which is the best whiskey of 2023, according to me, the Bourbon Bar. Well, us. But me. That being said, let's go ahead and get glass 10 on the nose. Oh, smells great. Definitely has a lot going on. Great body. I want to say there's a little bit more of like a cherry aspect in here. Like a cherry, vanilla, cream goodness. Yes. Liking that. Go with a 90 on the nose. It's right up my alley. Let's get it on the palate. Okay. Oh, the palate is easy to drink, yet it definitely has stuff. And I'm going to go ahead and cover up the table that I just came from so it doesn't sway my decision based on what I gave it last time. But the palate is very good. Easy to drink, but still delicious. All the flavors that I enjoy. Like a vanilla, cherry, oak presence in here. A little bit of spice. Let's give it a 92 on the palate. I really enjoy that one a lot. Cleanse the palate, move on. So, moving on to glass 9 on the nose. Oh, glass 9 has a little bit more funk in it. I feel like there's a little bit of age in glass 9. It's got a little bit of like a rye spice, but definitely heavy oak on this. Like a nice toasted oak, which I'm enjoying a lot. A little bit of clove. Not too much fruit in here, but definitely like a brown sugar sweetness in there. Love it. Nose, 92. I actually like this nose is getting better and better and better. Around the pipe. Woo! Tastes good. Definitely hurts a lot. Just give me a second. Why is it spicy? Why is it spicy? Okay. It tastes really good though. I like this one a lot. I like this. Let's try it again on the palate. Oh, good oak presence. Like sweet oak too. Okay. So, a little bit of like a rye spice, brown sugar, oak presence, not overly tannic. Definitely has a sweet aspect to it. I would say there's almost like a caramel here on the palate. Very good. 91 points on the palate. Get some water, move on. Okay. Moving on to glass 8. On the nose, working our way right through this. Glass 8 on the nose. Oh, it's got some simpler notes, not as quite as full-bodied, but definitely notes that I'm enjoying. The red fruit's there, caramel. Oak presence isn't there as much, but I'm really going simple on the notes here, guys. I'm just telling you guys, I want to get my knee-jerk reaction on these and kind of get down when I think about them and the points on them. So I can really kind of just dive in and have a good time with these. But that being said, I do like this. I think this deserves an 89 on the nose. Now we'll go ahead and drink it. Okay, on the palate of this one, very good. Doesn't quite seem as well rounded as some of these other ones. Still, I like it a lot though.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna go ahead and say 88 points on the palate for this one. Enjoyable. I just think that it could be.
This is easy.
Could just be better blended, just by not necessarily better blended, but I think that compared to the last two I had. The last two were so, like everything about it. This one just, I feel like there's one thing that just jumps off that doesn't quite match the rest, but it's very, very good. I actually really like that a lot. But 88 points on the palate for that one. Joe is saying, one of my samples never made it into Advent. Did you try it? I'd love to see you blinded against the Peerless Double Oak.
Was that the one we missed that didn't videotape?
I don't know. We got Stag Starlight.
Because I did not have any more in my box. There was one from him that did not.
1792 Foolproof, Angel's Envy, Barrel Pick, Sagamore Spirit Sherry, Heaven's Door 10, and Woodford Wheat, and Peerless High Rye.
Which one didn't get videotaped?
I think all of them, because the one that
Peerless,
didn't get
Double Rye.
Huh?
There's one right there.
No, he said he wants to see it. He wants to see it blinded against Peerless Double Oak, which I have.
You think it's a Peerless Double Rye?
Well, maybe, but I did put the Peerless Double Rye out. I think the only one that didn't record where we actually got to the end of it and I found out what it was.
He's right.
Bubba.
Oh my gosh! It was lost.
Don't show me what it is.
It was lost. It was lost in the bubble wrap.
You had one job.
I'm sorry.
You had one job.
It was a hard job. 24 days.
Oh well, he told me anyway. It was Lucky 7 Holiday Toast. Oh, shit.
You're gonna get a special live stream.
There's gonna be a special live stream dedicated. Actually, I can just put out an entire special video.
Do that. That's a good idea.
Because I think now that I'm down to one job, I'm gonna start doing 2 videos a week again.
Yeah.
Like I used to do. So I'll probably do one with just whiskey reviews.
All of them where, like, you compare them.
Yeah, I would love to do that. I'll put a special video just for that, Joe, and I will compare it to the Peerless Double Oak. In fact, I will go ahead and put that sample bottle on top of the Peerless Double Oak bottle, so I don't forget.
Do not put it on top.
I'm gonna put it right next to the Peerless Double Oak bottle, so I don't forget. I'm sorry, man.
How did I lose a bottle? I
don't know. I wasn't allowed to look in the box because, that's not my job. I'm not allowed to see them. But we're sorry.
Why didn't you tell us earlier? We would have cut out one of ours.
That's true. We had a couple that we did ourselves.
We wouldn't have known by the end of that.
That's true.
We could have done a day 25.
We could have done a day 25.
It's because you have my phone number.
Yeah, he already said what it is. But that's okay. Well, I will do it. Casey says, damn, Holden, time to do a sample clean out live stream, LOL. I will. Actually, one of these next live streams here is going to be me just kind of running through the Advent samples and just drinking them. But I wanted to get this done actually today. And then we actually forgot that we had a live stream. We made plans and everything tonight. And we had to cancel because we're like, shit, it's Tuesday. It does not feel like Tuesday.
Screwed up.
So then we decided just to do these 10 on the live stream so you guys could see me have my actual reaction to them. But we will do the advent samples on the next live stream that we do. So sorry, Joe. That being said, glass 7 on the nose. Oh, glass 7 smells absolutely awesome. I feel like there's so much caramel in here. Caramel and sweet oak on the nose. A lot of sweetness, dessertiness. A little bit of like a vanilla frosting. Light vanilla frosting. But overall, it's like a sweet oak. Maybe even a little bit of chocolate. Loving glass 7 on the nose. Going to give it a 91. Moving on to the palate. Palate, lots of oak presence. Definitely the moment it hits my lips, I can tell that it's got a little bit of a tannicness to it. A little bit drying in the mouth. But so much chocolate, oak presence. Nothing too fruity going on in here. Lots of caramel and oak and chocolate sweetness, which is some of my favorite things in bourbon. So that being said, I'll give it an 89. Just for the little bit of tannicness, I'll dock it a couple points, bring it down to an 89 out of 100.
What number was that?
Have some water, move on. That was number 7.
Okay. I wasn't paying attention because I was eating my popcorn.
Moving on to number 6 here. Okay, number 6 on the nose. Moving back more into the fruity direction. I'm going to say a little bit of a light red fruit. A little bit of, honestly, a little bit of vanilla extract. Really enjoy this. Not too much oak, but a hint. A little bit of like a cinnamon-esque. Light spice. Light. But very sweet. I'm liking it a lot. This is kind of on my palate for a nose smells here. But it doesn't quite smell as full-bodied. Doesn't quite smell as complex. It's really good, but it has a little bit actually, maybe even a light fruit in there as well. I'm going to go ahead and give it an 88 points on the nose. Now we'll move on to the palate of it. Palate felt a little bit thinner. Not as much going on. A good light fruit in here as well. Light fruit, caramel, a hint of oak. Actually, oak more on the palate than on the nose. Palate, I'm going to give it an 87. Good, but after these 4, it doesn't quite live up to those 4. We get some water and move on. Joe says, don't be sorry. The one sample is just a gift for Lauren to drink, but it was more fun to see you both try it. Oh.
I was going to say, my first thought, no, now that I see the name on it, when I first opened it, it definitely was in there. It was just
the other one?
that I wrapped everything up in the bubble wrap, and it must have fell out at one point, so it was underneath all the rest of the fluff. So I think that's what happened.
I tell you what, though, the one that you put in there for Lauren.
Yeah. My thought was like, oh, that's just for like me to also drink on the show, because I don't drink them on the advent.
Yeah. That was
like last year
good.
you made me do some more work than what you did this year.
No, last year you just poured them all in sample bottles. I did the whole episode myself, and then
I thought you made me taste it.
No, I didn't.
We should do 2 advents where you make me taste some. You
mean just do yours in my advent video?
Like you give me we'll do put 2 out a day. We can like do.
You know how hard it is to put 1 out a day.
We'll do it like Christmas in July.
We could do a Christmas in July advent calendar. That is a good idea.
I can teach her to St. Lauren.
Yeah, that's something to teach. It is, I think. That's a good idea. We're gonna do a Christmas in July Lauren advent calendar. So on July 1st.
Hold on. Someone remind us in May.
Wait, hold on. Let's do the math.
No, wait. Put a notification in your phone.
We'll have to start recording in June at least, because that's definitely a more busy time of year. I will. Put it in your phone.
What's in your phone? You're in charge here.
By the way, that isn't artificially flavored. It's made with real blackberry brandy.
I thought, holy shit, it tasted blackberries.
I thought it tasted like Jolly Ranchers.
Holy
Dead ass.
psycho. There's no,
No.
blackberry Jolly Rancher.
No.
It only tastes like grape.
Listen, Jolly Ranchers have a specific Jolly Rancher flavor. There's
I'm
the
a Jolly
fruit.
Rancher. I haven't had one in a really long time, so maybe I
Yeah,
just can't remember.
There's the fruit, and then there's the Jolly Rancher, and it makes Jolly Rancher flavored fruit, right? That has the Jolly Rancher flavor to it. I couldn't pinpoint the fruit, but it tastes like a fucking Jolly Rancher. I was here for it. I would drink that every day of the week.
It was really good.
But that's awesome. That's not artificially flavored. Like I said, best flavored whiskey that I've ever had. Hands down. Never had a better one.
Candy right now.
Yeah. Where am I? Glass 5. Moving on to glass 5 on the nose. Let's get it.
Okay, wait. Did we just figure out what city Joe is from?
I thought he said it was Cleveland.
He did say Cleveland? Because we can...
I don't know. We all know I'm geographically challenged, okay? Don't at me, episode 17. Was it 17? The Advent calendar. I was absolutely killing myself with geography.
Why are you asking me? I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm not good at it. Okay.
I didn't tell him what day we were going to be there. I think it's a Saturday.
Glass 5 definitely has some funk to it. Honestly, I want to say there's I don't want to guess bottles here. Glass 5 could be Little Book only because I want to say there's like a
Why
light.
don't you shut your mouth?
I don't know.
Because you
I don't
make
know.
horrible decisions when you open it.
That's true. It smells like it's got some funk, but it's got a lot of really good notes in there too. Sweet, fruity. Is this what I said stone fruit in before?
I don't think so. I think that wasn't one of these ones.
It's definitely got a little bit of maybe more of a citrusy note, like a light fruity note in there. Maybe some rye aspects to it. It smells good. Well-rounded, actually. I'm going with 89 points on it. Let's get on the palate. Okay. Yeah, actually, now that I'm thinking about a little bit of citrusy, I feel like I get a little bit of like an orange peel on the palate here. Orange peel, oak, caramel, sweet. A little bit tannic, not too bad though. Definitely a good proof and full-bodied. Let's stick with the 89 points on the palate as well. Tied even. Joe says, might have been my favorite one after the tequila and stag. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Honestly, I had a lot of fun with the Advent calendar this year. I like, as long as I can keep getting samples from people
it's more fun with other people.
Yeah, for real. And especially when people appreciate watching you drink it for the first time, it's like something to really kind of like connect. It's always fun when you're drinking whiskey to hear someone else's opinion.
Yeah.
That's why drinking whiskey with people is so fun because you can kind of both talk about.
Do you want me to start drinking more? I think I drink quite a bit. It's like ice skating. I just slowly get better.
Yeah. If you wanted to drink more, I would never turn you down from drinking.
I don't know. I think you would have to stop me.
Some of your notes are a little crazy.
Expensive shit. Maybe I'm not that crazy. Maybe your nose is just broken.
Maybe. And he says he does live in Cleveland. See,
Okay.
I told you. I know this stuff.
We are going to be in Cleveland, and it's either the Friday. No, we're going to be driving from New York City to Cleveland, and we're going to stay overnight in Cleveland on Friday after our wedding, which I can tell you what date that is in 1 second. The 16th, and then we'll be there.
Of February.
Yep, and we're going to drive from Cleveland to Chicago the 17th. So we can leave whenever because it's not a big deal. But just so you know, keep your calendar open in case we need to party.
Okay. Glass 4 on the nose. So good. Glass 4 on the nose, honestly. Brown sugar, caramel, oak, very light red fruit. This is like everything I want in life. Smells great. Honestly, I can't stop. Vanilla, actually, but vanilla aspect in 92 points on the nose for glass 4. Let's get on the palate. Palate's almost right there with it. Really good, but I don't know if that I feel like there's almost a little bit of
What do you want?
Honestly, I feel like there's a little bit of citrus note in the palate of that one too. I'm in glass 4.
4.
But there is definitely oak presence there. That sweetness is coming across, and that red fruit is too. I feel like there's a little bit of citrusy. I want to go with
You like citrus?
I don't dislike citrus.
I know, like surprised.
It's just compared to the nose, I wasn't expecting as much citrus as I got. It's not a whole lot of citrus, but it was there. I'm gonna say
citrus and bourbon taste like?
go 89 points again.
Again, it was 92.
I know, but I put 89 on the nose of 5 because it also had citrus. Which I don't dislike citrus. It just depends on how well you blend it in. Because like orange, like there's orange peel in old fashions. That's citrus, and it does complement a lot of whiskeys. But that being said, moving on to glass 3 here on the nose.
You know what we should do next year?
What should we do next year?
I'll put them in one order on the first round, and on the second round, we'll move the orders.
Just mix them up?
Because I think that if you're first or last, you have like the first time through, the first one has it bad, and then because it's your first one, so if it's high proof, you're fucked because now your palate's blown out.
I agree.
If it's the last one and it's not as high proof as the ones over here, well then it's automatically out just because your palate's from that one.
I agree. I mean, I'm down to do that. You just gotta make sure you keep track of it. I have though on the last one I did. After I got through, I looked at it, and if there were any outliers in the beginning, and I'm pretty sure the first 3 on the last round had outliers. I sat down for a little bit, waited, and then I went back to the first 3 and regraded them as my first round score, just to kind of get something more fair, because it's not entirely fair to put them first and then not be warmed up.
Because ever since you said that one time, I think it was the first round, you said I picked a bad one for the first one.
Yeah, it's like on the first
I've been trying to put the
round.
lighter proofs.
The first
higher
round,
proof,
I was high proof and it blew my palate
I
off.
feel like now the first one's automatically fucked because it's so low proof compared to the rest of them.
Right. But like on the last one, I started off in the 70s, and I went to like low 80s, and then it just kept getting better. So then when I went back and redid it, these ones were in the 80s. Like they were like a 15-point difference just because my palate was warmed up, they opened up in the glass and all of that. But I did warm up today. I will go back and if there's any outliers in the beginning couple, I will go back and retaste. But I'm pretty sure I've been pretty fair. And these 2 I did give low. I was in the mid 80s, low 80s.
Yeah.
So if I'm still there though, they don't get a second chance. It's just that if there's a giant difference between when I tasted it first and when I tasted it at last, that's when I should go back and redo it. But let's go on the nose of number 3. Number 3, I feel like I just keep saying this, but it's so good. Like there's like almost like a butterscotch note, but almost like a bark note, like a candy bark. Like in Christmas when you get like that bark, the chocolatey bark.
I don't really like that.
I love it.
Can I smell it?
That smells freaking awesome. Sweet oak and caramel butterscotch, something is going on in there that I'm enjoying a lot.
Honestly, I can tell that it's sweet, but
one of the best noses on the table, at least. I think I'm gonna have to give the nose 93 this round, which is the highest nose I think I've given
I don't know.
in
that
this
one
round.
just kind of burns my nostrils.
Well, I'm 16 whiskeys, 17 whiskeys deep at this point.
This one doesn't burn my nostrils.
I really like
this
it,
one
though.
does worse than that one. Oh, this one doesn't at all. What's this one?
Oh, this one is high proof though.
I know why this.
It definitely sapped the water in my mouth a little bit, but it's got good flavors in it. Oak presence, spice actually, more spice on the palate than on the nose. I need a second sip to I was kind of listening to you on that one. I'm going to do a second sip before I grade this one, but
this one smells fantastic.
Definitely has body. Body, oak spice, light tannicness, a little bit sapping in the moisture of my mouth, but still good caramel. A little bit of red fruit in there too. I like it. Getting docked probably at least 2 points for the tannicness, but otherwise very good palate. Going with 90 points even on glass number 3.
Can I say what I was going to say now?
Mm-hmm.
This one's really tasty. Oh, I could smell this one all day.
Yeah, but you know what it is, and it's probably Woodford batch proof.
No. How did you know that?
Because you love Woodford batch proof.
This one also smells really good.
Oh,
this one smells literally like Christmas. Smell this one.
Whiskey Blender Fraley says, OMG, what the heck did I do to him? Was I inebriated at the time I sent him packing? No, it's just that your J. Henry compared to his Four Roses Ali.
How many weeks ago was
kicked
that?
ass.
So Holden was naughty and he got kicked out of the live stream a few weeks ago. And I said I was gonna finish it off, and I smelled. That's what happened, right? And then I smelled the Four Roses. I said I was gonna do it.
No, I was here.
No, I know you did something bad.
I did, but I was sitting here still.
Yeah, and it was horrible. It was horrible. It was literally, and like normally I like make jokes. It was horrible. Like it was bad. Like I wasn't even joking.
Okay.
And then.
But that's also someone who doesn't drink whiskey very often.
Okay, but I can sit here and tell you which. If we went through here, I could tell you which one I like the most. Like it's not. I wasn't. You know
Maybe we should do that.
That would be fun.
But after we get the answers, I'll let you go through and figure out which one you like the best. But
a lot of pressure on me.
Basically, I said that the Four Roses Ali was.
It was just meh.
It was meh. I feel
not worth the money, but not bad whiskey.
I'm not upset that I have it, but like I am like my body hurts a little bit spending $200 on it. But your J. Henry that you worked on, kicked its ass. Like, significantly.
While she's on here, we should talk about my old fashioned. So I had, what did I have? I had Eagle Rare, and then I had the 1792. Neither of them
were as good as
my J. Henry.
J. Henry. That's true. J. Henry makes killer old fashions.
With this one.
That's with their mainstay, their bourbon.
Which is, how much?
90.
90 proof?
No. Wait. It's back here.
No,
it's
it was
in the back. No, that's the barrel strength.
80.
92
proof. 92 proof plain whiskey. And I just.
John Cloud is here. Says, cheers, Holden and Lauren. Hope you had a Merry Christmas. And to you, John, thank you for being here. And cheers to you. We did have a Merry Christmas. It was a good time. Definitely wish there was snow.
I wish there was snow. It doesn't feel like Christmas without snow.
It definitely doesn't feel like Christmas without snow. I love the
just
snow.
Like, if there's no snow, but there's like a nip in the air, like that can get me going too. But like listening to Christmas music and like the hot fog
50 degrees
makes me feel icky.
50 degrees and
like,
raining.
Okay, remember when we got that pumpkin spice coffee in like June and we were drinking it and we just like, it's not that it was bad coffee, it wasn't hard
fall.
To drink it when it's not fall.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how I feel like I'm in Christmas, but I'm like have like this icky feeling because it doesn't feel like Christmas.
Yeah, it's like the season didn't match the actual time of year, which kind of sucks. But Joe says, just give me a price and we can make a deal. OGD 114 makes the best old fashions. I'll die on that hill. I never had OGD bottle and bond in my old fashions. I actually crushed like 3/4 of an OGD bib in the matter of a couple months, just from putting in old fashions and just drinking it straight because I was in this. It's good. OGD 114 was in this, and it was. It's over here. I have it. OGD 114 took 21st, and it beat out some hitters. But we'll get to that.
OGD 114, and the next one was the Four Roses.
So Four Roses, and the thing is, OGD 114 was at the bottom of that tier, and Four Roses was in last place in its tier. So there's a good chance that OGD 114 could have beat Four Roses in the blind. So there's some overlap that could happen. John Cloud says agreed. It was 60 here in Cincinnati. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It feels like, how is Santa gonna park his sleigh on the roof when there's no snow? It's a brand new roof. Anyway, that being said, we're moving on to glass 2. We're almost done with this second round of blinding on the nose, which glass 2 is smelling better than in the beginning, so I may have to go back to glass 1 and 2. Glass 3, I think I was good, but I think glass 1 and 2, I maybe have been warming up still. Glass 2 does smell quite good, actually. So, that being said, it does smell like it's got some decent body. Light notes, light fruit notes.
I'm going to take a pause. Robin, watch the live stream. Stop sending me Instagram posts.
Yeah, what the heck, Robin? What the frick? Are we going to the bourbon room after this or what?
Let's see if we can make it.
I definitely feel like there's light fruity notes in this one. A little bit, maybe a honey sweetness actually in this one. I don't mind it. It's definitely not the best one here. If I was going to put points on it, I would say 87 points on the nose. Moving on to the palate. Let's get it. It does feel very well rounded. Like a sweet fruitiness up front with oak in the finish. The one thing all these have in common, probably because they're all expensive and they're in my top 10 list, and I love it, oak presence. I feel like all night there's been oak in a lot of these. Oak and sweetness and a lot of dark notes. You do. You liked...
That has a lot of oak in it?
This has probably the most oak in my entire shelf.
Oh, maybe we should have another taste.
This is almost has some tannic notes, like tannic oak.
But I don't like tannic in wine. I only like it in bourbon.
It's a light tannic, but it's great.
I could just stick my nose in this and blend it all the time.
She's talking about, by the way, Parker's Heritage double
Oh, I guess I could have
barrel blend.
Oh. Okay.
Yes. So a very large oak presence in that one, and it's 15 and 13 years old. So on top of being double barreled, it's very old.
I'm for the good shit.
And high proof. But I want to say the palate of number 2. I want to give it actually a higher score than the nose. I'm going 89 on the palate. Very good. Just, I don't know if it lives up to some of these bottles that I have here tonight.
89 is really high.
Yeah, but consistently in round 2, it's not.
Okay, but you have mostly 89s, and you mostly have 89s. So, like, 89 is the common score. So it's no worse than 81 on
yeah, but it didn't live up to some, and by some, I mean 3 of them that it didn't live up to. Like, because there are some big hitters. Well, I know, but we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. This is a top 10 of the entire year.
I know, but I feel like you're hating on it.
Hating on it? I just gave it an 89.
I just said that 89 was high, and you told me it wasn't.
Anyway, we're moving on to glass 1. Glass 1, finally back down to the beginning. Oh, this definitely needs to be retasted. This one and this one will get retasted for round 1. Give it some new points. Hold on. On the nose, it's got some of my favorite notes in it. A cherry fruit, a light vanilla, like almost like a vanilla chip cherry. Like if you had like a cherry vanilla, like a cherry and cream, like candy. That's what this would feel like on the nose.
That sounds really good, actually.
It does, along with an oak presence. Honestly, going up to 90 points on the nose.
That was a big jump. I think that the first nose was like 86.
I know, it was. And that's why 1 and 2 definitely need a rescore for round 1. But let's get on the palate before
we're going to do it the other way definitely next year. I think that'll help. Because it'll make your... Oh, it just splashed at me.
Next year, I need at least 2 glasses of whiskey, full glasses, to warm up before I get to these. And these need to be sitting out for at least 5 minutes before I start.
Next year, we're going to go to the bourbon room before we come here.
Did you sip it too?
Mm-hmm. Not bad. It didn't tingle my tongue at all, which means it's good. But I have too much popcorn in my mouth. I need to have some water or something. It
does actually have a light tannicness to it. But overall, it does have that light red fruit sweetness in there as long as a little bit of oak. But I want to feel like there's a little bit.
Anything can taste better than that.
A little bit more spice. Well, yeah, it's just carbonated water.
Why does carbonation make soda taste so good, but it makes water like absolutely revolting?
I don't know, but it scrubs stuff up your tongue.
I could be dead in a fucking desert and needing water, and I would not drink sparkling water.
We're gonna go with 88 on the palate of this one. I actually really like it a lot, but I feel like there's just something maybe missing compared to some of these other things in here. That being said,
what's missing? Oak?
I don't know. It's got. Oh no, I did say oak. It's got a little bit of almost a tannicness. I feel like it just is 1 or 2 notes. Maybe like a light sweetness that I wanted to see that I just didn't.
82 to 85 to 90 to 88.
Yes, so
that's pretty good. That's a big difference.
Glasses 1 and 2. I'll give it a second here, and I will retaste glasses 1 and 2
Let
because
me do them, and then you can go back and do them.
Yeah. So I'll let Lauren go ahead. What do you think of glass 1 here?
Let me redo it.
Feel free to redo it.
I needed to redo it after I still had salt in my mouth for my popcorn.
Robin said we can go. You think Holden will be able to walk after these 10 samples? I actually feel fine.
It's okay. Myrtle will dry.
The thing is, when I'm doing a blind like this, I take very small sips. If you haven't noticed, I've really only did one sip of each one, unless I needed to resip it. So probably about 2 ounces in each of these, and I probably hardly drank a quarter of an ounce. So
I think I like the taste of that one better than I like the nose.
that's fair.
You should write these down because I'm not gonna remember what I'm gonna say. Like out of 10, not 100. The nose would probably get like a 6, but like the palate.
Out of 100?
Out of 10.
Oh shit. Okay, so let's go 60 on the nose.
But like.
Go out of 100. It's easier.
What the fuck is the difference between 10 and 100?
10, you have to go into decimals, and 100 are round numbers.
Okay, well then I would probably say like a 72 on the palate.
On the palate.
Yeah.
72 on the palate. Okay. Moving on to glass B.
These are all going based off of how that was a 6. No, it's not out of 100. That seems so low compared to yours.
Yeah, it's just that like tasting things like this is hard, and that's why.
You gotta get me regular water. I can't drink this.
It's nice. It's nice to compare A and B.
Ooh,
after
this one smells good.
After going through it.
I like how this one smells.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, a lot.
What would you say for points of that? I actually put that one 3 points lower than glass A on the nose.
No, this one's palate I think was better. I actually really like the nose of this one.
And I was the opposite. I said that one's nose was better. Palates, they matter.
Ooh.
Joe says, is he able to walk straight normally? Don't make fun of me, Joe. You're not very nice, man.
That was too funny. It was really funny because today we were at Fleet Farm and Holden was walking and I looked at him for like the first time ever and he doesn't walk where his thighs touch. And I'm looking at myself like, are my thighs fat or does he walk funny?
There's a lot of people whose thighs don't touch each other when they walk. It's not that weird. It's just based on your body shape and anatomy.
Yeah, but you walk like.
Yeah, I strut
I
strut my stuff. I tried walking with my thighs touching, and I tripped over. Tripped over my own knees. I'm just built where like my legs are straight on the inside, but like the bubble of my legs are more on the outside where my quads are. Versus, I think some people they have more stuff on the inside of their quads, and that's why their thighs.
I think I have like a little bit of like a fat ball.
Plus, I have a big ass. I got birthing hips.
Anyway,
if I was a woman,
this tastes
guys
like
would
soap.
love me.
This tastes like soap. If you want to purchase this, it tastes like soap.
Hot take, and I said the nose was better than, or I said the palate was better than the nose.
The nose is fine. I don't know what it tastes, what it smells like, but it tastes like soap.
How about some points here?
The nose, I'm gonna say like I'll say 72 on the nose.
72 on the nose.
But I'm gonna say like a 50 on the palate.
Only a
it was
50
not good. It tastes like soap. It tastes like soap. If I ate soap, which my mother never put soap in my mouth because she was a good mom.
Mine did. Don't say fuck in front of your mom, kids.
Anyway,
soap it is.
Hold on. I didn't know you were going to say that. It made me just diss your mother on the internet. He's just a sweetie.
Look at the way he's looking at me. He's like...
It's because dogs can't see green, so you just look all brown to him.
Oh, man.
This smells good, but it's got a lot. It's like I can smell the notes, but like it's burning my nose. Like I can't like. I don't know if I could get past burning my nose for the notes.
Peter says, 2 whiskey blender Fraley. Holden somewhat trashed the Four Roses LE, and he is crazy about the J. Henry bottles. So Brent is out, and you are in. Okay. Here's the thing. I didn't necessarily trash the Four Roses.
I'm the one doing these. I had a Four Roses at your parents' house for the first time because you didn't have Four Roses yet. Remember this was
that was a normal. Ago. Yeah, it was just normal.
The
small
normal
batch.
one, and I had like 3 bourbons there, and that was the one I didn't like.
I feel like Four Roses, the palate of Four Roses, in my opinion, has always been more of a spice-forward palate and less sweetness.
More like a sweet,
and
happy.
Both of us are definitely sweet oak.
Yeah.
Brown sugar
anyway,
and
this tastes
goodness.
bitter, so I'm guessing it's supposed to be like a chocolate.
Glass 3.
Glass 3. To me, it tastes kind of bittery. Taste, not smell. Right? Am I right?
Yes, glass 3 has a lot of tannic.
I think it's very bitter,
and
so it must
like
be
oak
chocolate
and chocolate. Yes, very tannic on
I
glass
can't remember
3,
what it
which
smells like though.
I actually enjoy.
So the
a little
nose
bit.
is very unmemorable because I smelled it 3 seconds ago and I don't remember what it smells like. And I like chocolate, but bitter bourbon is not my style. It smells okay. It's kind of sweeter on the nose.
I'm confused if this is a bot or it's a person. Their name is Horny Eyes. And it says collecting souls on the new cancer. Never looked better.
I feel like we should block them.
Someone
that's
should.
a very not.
Someone should.
Comment.
Oh, now that I look at the picture, I'm pretty sure it's someone's vagina.
Please.
Someone can block that guy. One of my mods, please. That would be great.
Peter's mod. Joe's mod. Anyway.
Cookies.
Don't talk about
cookies.
Remember when we first started dating? My mom, every single time I went to her house,
she would
send you home with
She's like
cookies.
Hansel and Gretel. She's trying to fatten me up for the slaughter. Damn.
Anyway, okay, so this nose, it's fine. It's not bad. It's just the second the cup leaves my nose, it's gone and I don't
Put a number on it.
Well, for that, I would, 59.
59 on the nose.
I can remember this one, but it smells better in the instant than this one, but I can't remember it. I feel like I should be able to remember it. If I can't remember it, it wasn't worth it.
This is one of my favorite noses in blind.
I know, but you're crazy. The taste is bitter, and I got flavors on that, so clearly it's a good bourbon, but like, I don't want bitter bourbon. I'm not gonna fucking sit around and drink something bitter. So I'm gonna say a whole ass 53 on it.
When we find out what these are, we're gonna have to look at the bottle because Nancy says if you're finding soap notes, then it might be an indication of a saponification in the bourbon. This comes from fast water reduction from barrel to bottling strength.
Wow.
And then she asks, is a whiskey cloudy?
No,
so,
that was this one that I said.
No, you said that 3 is soapy.
No, I said number 2 is soapy.
2 is soapy?
2 is soapy, so I got 50. I don't want to drink fucking soap.
It's hard to tell in the glass because it's round. But when we find the bottle, you can look at the bottle.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting. I didn't get a soapy note, but
okay.
I drink whiskey a lot more than she does. She's like.
Okay, but that's the thing though. If I'm sitting here taking out notes and I'm saying it's soapy.
That's true.
That's saying more than I think you can actually pick out good
notes. That's true.
True.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to 1 and 2.
Stop it, Holden. What the fuck are you doing? I'm only on bottle 3.
I got whiskey on the notebook.
Sit down. Leave me alone.
I want to go back through
you
my
didn't
first
even ask
2.
Me
what was the palate of glass 3?
I was getting through it and you started yabbing your fucking mouth. Maybe he is drunk. He never interrupts me.
Okay. I'm sorry. I spilled whiskey on the notebook.
I'm going a lot quicker than you, so you can.
You are. Let's do it.
Okay, so I can tell it's good whiskey because I can actually pick a note out of it, but I don't like bitter bourbon, so I'm not going to give it a horrible score.
I feel like that almost reminds me of that in the palate.
I don't agree with that.
Not necessarily of the notes, but the tannicness, the oak presence of it.
But it's not the tannic, it's just bitter.
It's similar.
That tastes sweet. This tastes bitter.
That's fair.
So I'm gonna go with. I need to look at my other notes so I can tell. I'm gonna go with a 69.
Nice. 69 on the palate for glass 3 of Lauren.
This one smells really good.
Lauren likes
Holy
glass
shit,
4.
This smells really fucking good.
I also really, really enjoyed glass 4 both times that I had it.
Holy shit. Oh, this smells really good. What's my highest score so far? 72.
72.
Ooh, give it like a 79.
79 on the nose for Lauren on glass 4.
Oh my goodness.
Have a sip.
And like we've just talked about this before. I think I like prefer the nose over. I could sit there and smell bourbon all day, but like I don't need to drink it. You know what I mean? So I feel like I just prefer the nose over the palate. Which we talked about how some people like that.
Yes, some people enjoy the palate more and the nose more. I love a good nose, but I won't shy away from if a palate overshines the nose. That actually is when I really enjoy it because if I like the nose more, but the palate's better, it's impressive.
That was really good. I didn't even tingle my mouth or anything. Like I just
drink it. That's your new favorite, or what?
Wow, I was like happy with that.
Let's do the.
Give it another 79.
79.
I was really satisfied with that one.
I
just like to point out, I only remember what these last 3 are because I wasn't paying attention before.
Nancy says I should add that saponification happens when there are a lot of fatty acids in the whiskey, and it's reduced from barrel to bottling strength too fast.
Wait, does that mean that
the molecules
it's good
don't
for
bond
your brain?
properly?
Fatty acids are good for your brain. Does that mean that
Listen,
this is brain juice?
There's a lot of research that shows if you have one glass, which is
we talked about this
1.5 ounces a day, it's very good for your immune system and your body and your everything.
A glass of 1.5 ounces of bourbon and 1.5 ounces of wine, and you're fucking set to go. You're gonna live till like the queen's dead again.
Right, exactly.
Okay, this also smells fantastic. I don't know if I'm gonna give it as high as the last one. I would have to smell this one again.
Hey, boom. Yeah.
No, this one smells more like dried fruit, raisiny, grapey type of shit, which I prefer.
Rice is bent. Yeah. So I actually said glass 4 is better too.
More like this. If this smells like raisins, this would smell like strawberries to me.
That's fair.
So it's still really good though. I'm gonna give it a 75.
75 on the nose of glass 5 for Lauren. I really want to work at a distillery and make whiskey. Did you just spit it out?
No, I had so much spit. It's not good. I don't like this one. Go put it back. Give that thing like a 0. I didn't like that. I don't like that.
What? What just happened?
I didn't like it. Ew.
Okay, well, okay, not a 0, but seriously, what?
That was not good. I don't like that one at all.
Did it just go down the wrong pipe, though?
No, I didn't even swallow it. It went on my tongue, and I couldn't even. It was disgusting. I didn't like that at all. It was horrible. I have to know what that is. Oh, wow. That's going to be an upset. Holy shit. I didn't like that at all.
So what am I giving it for points?
I don't know. Just leave it blank. We're going to put it the lowest of everything.
I think maybe you should try it again after the rest of them.
Okay.
And maybe you need to cleanse a little bit.
No, this is okay.
Okay. Robin says, heads up,
good.
I just made some Toll House cookies.
Yum.
Going good with a whiskey business beer.
Oh,
Which one? Is it?
No, they got the new one.
Which new
My
one?
parents don't fucking hoard beer like you do.
Okay, but like which one? They have the
they only got the regular one.
I really want to try the mint cookie one. Is that what it was?
Yeah, mint.
Like Girl Scout mint cookies?
Yeah, it was something like that.
And guess what it's finished in, Nancy? The whiskey business beer is finished in J. Henry barrels.
Sorry, did I spoil it for you?
You
I
did.
still think it over. Horrible thing.
Badger State Brewing in Green Bay has a.
That's where me and Holden are getting married. In case you want to come to the wedding.
It is. And you could come. It's barrel-aged beer that's finished in J. Henry barrels. This year is J. Henry barrels, so it's really cool. And actually really, really good. I only had the one. So they have their normal one without any additives, but they also have one that's a coffee and vanilla barrel-aged stout in J. Henry barrels. And then they have one that's a mint chocolate in J. Henry barrels, I think. So I only tried the normal one, but I'm going to try the other two soon as well. And very good.
Okay, so I have things to say about this one.
Okay.
It smells really good.
Glass 6. Lauren likes the smell.
I would say probably like 76.
76. Better than 5, but not as good as 4.
But it tastes like water. But I think it's only because
Easy
that
to drink.
one was so
See,
horrible.
number 6 for me. Yeah, the palate I only gave an 87. So one of the lowest palates, actually, the lowest palate on my second round.
It's not bad.
What points wise?
I feel like maybe I get like a little bit of chocolate on this one, but not like as much as that other one, so it's not bitter yet, but it just kind of tastes like that. Do you want to tell me if I'm wrong?
No, I clearly agree.
No,
because
the chocolate. Because it's kind of bitter, but it's not too bitter. It's just enough that I still could drink it.
Yeah, it's got a little bit of that bitterness, but not like
it's not
hardly.
It's not there. It's just what points out. It's just what's in my head.
And chocolate's not actually bad. No, I do get some in there.
Okay. So I would get that one. I could sit down and drink a dram of this one because it's so easy going. So I'd probably say 77.
That's pretty high for you.
Yeah.
That's your second best on the palate.
Exactly. Nothing's gonna beat that. Was it number 4? That was fucking phenomenal.
Number 4 rock.
Ooh,
Casey says,
really
now that you say that, I do get a little soapy note in my Smoke wagon malted rye. I feel like that might be like a part of the floralness too of it. Nothing sexier than a good nose. That's true. Love me a good nose. Casey says, guess I'm not healthy.
Okay. Here's my thing. Is that this one seems to be like very like tongue tingling to me, but I can drink it. I could swallow it. My mouth isn't salivating. That one, I almost died. I like this one. I could drink this one. I think you're too busy focused on these people.
Nancy's coming over to your mom's house to get some Toll House cookies.
It's a long drive from where's Henry? What town was it in?
Well, she doesn't live over there.
I know, but what if she's there?
Dane.
Come on, far away from Dane.
Peter says Lauren thinks she is Fred Minnick. Hey, no, Lauren doesn't think anything.
I kick Fred Minnick's ass. Oh my God, he's gonna come on here one day, watch that, and he's not gonna ever watch us again. He's gonna get us from the Bourbon tube. Okay.
So Lauren's feeling good.
I like this one a lot.
Glass 7, Lauren likes a lot on the nose.
Not as good as 4, but I would definitely like put these two next to each other. I feel like I should.
So how about a 78?
I feel like I should.
Okay. Joe says that 0 is going to be Jay Henry. I was thinking that, but she also loves.
No. Yes.
She also loves Woodford Bash Proof. So if that was that would create a big upset for her too.
This one is better on the nose. So what did I give that one on the nose? This one on the nose?
79.
79. Okay, this is going to be a 78 on the nose.
78
it's
for number 7.
It's definitely the second best on the nose, 100%.
Plus phrasing. Yes, phrasing's important. I should make a t-shirt that just says phrasing's important. Or just hashtag phrasing.
Okay. I think I'm going to give this one less on the mouth just because it tingles my tongue just enough that I can't taste as many flavors.
One less on the nose or one less on the mouth?
Tingles my tongue.
78 again.
Is that what that one is?
Yeah, you were 79 and then so 78.
Yeah, okay. So only because this one tingles my tongue just enough that I can't taste as many flavors as I can with this one.
Derek says Robin's been trying to fatten me up since 1998.
And it's working wrong.
Yeah, you're shrinking. You shrinking.
Okay, yeah. One less. It's still really good.
Or maybe he just grew a lot in 1998, and then now he's shrinking because he doesn't eat as much from her.
I think that's what happened. Okay, this one, fantastic. I already knew that. This one smells really good. Give this one a 79 on the nose. It's the same.
Number 8. Lauren's really enjoying these noses. 79. So better than number 7.
Oh. This one's really good.
Number 8's really good, apparently. What is it on the palate?
I think I'm going to... If I AV these two again, this one's lighter on the palate. This one still tingles my tongue. And not that tingling my tongue is bad. It's just I can't get as many notes. Yeah,
it's harder for a beginner to get it. But honestly, the more you drink it, if you really are going to do this more with me, eventually you will enjoy that tingle.
Secretly, I do it when you're not here. And
that'd be crazy.
It's just the too much tingle compared to that one. I feel like I can straight up get notes out of this one. I feel like I just can't just because of the tingle.
So what would you say on points on this one?
I would say probably 78. No, 78 and a half.
So
78.
Same. Why are you going 0.5s?
Because it's better than this one.
So let's bump that one down to a 77.
But no, I don't want to do that. I want to put
78.5? That's so weird.
You're weird.
We have 100 whole points to play with, and you're still going to a half.
This is why I wanted to do 10. It should have been 0.75.
Do you want us to go into the thousands?
Ooh, this one smells good.
Okay, so number 9, Lauren's enjoying the nose.
Not as good as the last one, though. So
yes. So no, unlike flocculation, chill filtration does not saponify. Holy shit, Nancy's just trying to make me just trip up on these words.
Okay, Nancy, you haven't been here that long, but Holy can't read.
Unlike flocculation, chill filtration does not fix saponification. You can filter it out a little bit, but there's no reversing saponification once it happens, unfortunately. Interesting. I saw Peter's comment before, and I was actually curious on the same thing, but that's good to know.
Okay, this one's palate is phenomenal. But its nose is not up to the hype.
So number 9, nose.
I would say the nose is probably like a 76.
76 on the nose.
But the palate is at 79, 80. The palate's fantastic.
79 or 80?
Yeah.
Which one?
I don't know.
No going halves. Which one? One more try. Robin says we got the mint mallow and the vanilla bean ones. Ooh. Okay, so mint marshmallow is what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, the palette this one's fantastic.
I want to try those,
Let's
but
put the
we'll
palette
go
at
back.
80.
We'll go with the palette at 80.
The 80
for those.
is fantastic.
Now that I'm thinking about it, so we're not allowed to have whiskey business at our wedding because if everyone on the dance floor is drinking a 12% beer, they're gonna puke everywhere and make a mess.
No, it wasn't that. It was because most people aren't gonna go up to the bar and order a 12% beer, so they didn't want to waste a keg.
But they did say that for the groom and select members of the bridal party, aka Mr. Derek Wedding, or even Robin if she's into it, can have some of these barrel-aged beers at the wedding, which means that for our wedding, we'll be drinking those barrel-aged beers, which is awesome. Although it's going to be heavy as hell, and one beer is going to get me drunk after a diet and some Xanax. But you know what? I'm ready for it. I'm going to have a good time. Batch State Brewing, hell yeah. Josie has told me a bit about that. Rock on.
Yes.
It's so good. We're getting married there.
While we're talking about breweries, I work at Station 1 Brewing, and maybe you should come and I don't know, talk you know what's funny is our guy who brews the beer, his name is Peter too. Okay, Peter, 2 Peters. Anyway, tell him to have J. Henry. He has nothing from Wisconsin. He has nothing from Wisconsin except for beer. Not even Wisconsin wine. And I've had people come in and talk.
Has he gotten the ones that I recommended it for him?
No, he's still trying to find a distributor that'll let him have them.
Well, then he should get, honestly, I know that some of the J. Henrys are more limited, but if you could get La Flamme or Bellefontaine, I really like.
Honestly,
I like
J. Henry in general would be fine.
Any J. Henry.
People are gonna come in and I'm gonna say, "Oh, this one's from Wisconsin," and they're gonna get it like that.
I agree.
That's the thing.
That's good marketing there.
When I sit there and talk, because people don't know what the fuck they're looking at when they're looking at whiskey, and I'm like, "Oh, this and this and this and this and this," and I'm yelling all these freaking stats at them. If I said from Wisconsin, people would order it snap a finger. Anyway, this one's. Hold on, one of them was good and one of them was bad. I think
Nancy says, okay. No, I live in Berkeley, California, not Dane, Wisconsin.
Okay, well, next time you're in Dane, Wisconsin. Why California?
It's okay. I know you didn't live in Dane. Lauren just thought maybe you would be there for fun.
Why not? Okay, this one's nose is pretty good, but its palate is so not.
Okay, so nose, we'll give it a...
I get no flavors in it. It's not as strong as this one, but I just get nothing from the palate, but the nose is pretty good. So I'll probably say a 77 and a 73.
77 on the nose and 73 on the palate.
Yeah. The palate's just not giving anything. It's just giving nothing.
I'll let you go back to glass 5 and just kind of
just
nurse it for a little bit. I'm going to go back and redo 1 and 2. Then we'll get into the answers of this because I'm dying to find out what these are. I'm so ready. But don't worry, Fred always has a great sense of humor. Don't worry, Fred has a great sense of humor. That's true. Just for that, Fred Minnick comment, Lauren needs her own channel. Great stream. Cheers from Atlanta. Andrew, yeah, for sure. Thanks for being here. And cheers to you. If Lauren could have her own stream, it would be called The Lauren Show, 10 times out of 10.
I don't like this one.
Okay, but think about everything about it and give it a solid...
It's making my gums tingle.
That's
a new level of bad.
Give it a solid score. Think about everything else you've drank. Try to find something redeeming about it.
What's the worst score? 50? It's getting 49. You
don't have to get close to 50. You can get in the 20s or 30s or even the 10s, but don't give it a 0.
Need to retaste
it's not horrible. Try Malort and then drink that, and then tell me what you think of it.
Okay, after drinking that one, this one's 1,000 times better. This is horrible. I don't like this on the palate at all. Its nose was fine.
Let's give it a 25, huh?
I said 49.
You really think it has enough good qualities?
I'm sure it does. It's just not for me.
Okay, we'll give it a 49.
Okay, I'll add all these up while you redo those 2.
Okay. On the nose, the last 1 for me, I'm redoing 1 and 2 because there's a drastic difference. 1 has some very redeemable notes. A lot of good stuff. A lot of sweetness. I want to say more close on the butterscotch. There's some vanilla in here and a little bit of red fruit. 1, I'm switching from an 82. We'll go up to an 87. It's really good. I do like it. Onto the palate. I actually like that palate a lot. I don't know what I said on round 2 for the palate, but round 1, Definitely switching the palate to 88. And it wasn't 85, so that's an improvement. Now we're going to move on to glass 2, and then we're going to count them up and figure out what these are. Because I'm dying to know what's in the top 10. We've been at it for 2 hours and 10 minutes. Luckily, we have off until Friday. So we get to have fun all week. That being said, let's go on to glass 2 and redo that one, and then we can figure out what these are. And don't forget to add up my round 2,
I will.
please.
You were just writing on here.
Yep. Okay, glass 2. It's good. Not quite as good as glass 1, and not quite as good as a lot of these other ones on here. Just for my palate specifically, I feel like this has more light fruit. And although I don't know for sure if it's a rye, I don't necessarily think it's a rye. I do think it has some rye aspects to it. And I'm definitely a big bourbon guy, so that spice that I would get on this, honestly, and a little bit of citrus too, doesn't score as high of points for me. I say for the nose of this one, blanket statement, I'm gonna go with an 87 on the nose, which is actually only 1 point better than I guess. So I guess I wasn't that far off on round 1. But now let's get on the palate. The palate seems simpler, not simple, but simpler than the other ones. Lighter, definitely not as much body or mouthfeel wise, not as viscous. There's a good oak presence there though. There's a light tannicness that comes from this. Orange peel coming through a little bit on the palate. Maybe even like a metallic-y vanilla-ness. I want to go with the palate, say, it's called an 86 on the palate, which the old palate was 84, so that's an improvement. Now, Lauren's almost done rounding these up. Don't forget to redo 1 and 2.
I didn't do that one.
Round 1. Yeah. But I'm pumped. I'm ready to figure out what these are. Well, let's get up on these comments. So, Mr. For Realsies says it's tingle excessive. I like a tingle personally. There's something about that high proof, little slight tannic, like that oak note that I enjoy. I'm not a man who steps away from the tingle unless it's the first whiskey of the day, because I've been known to get punched in the face by a proofy whiskey without warming up my palate. But tingle excessive is definitely something that's for reals about Lauren. He says, I've been to Station 1 several times. Mr. For Realsies, what's your name?
Who the hell is For Realsies?
What's your name? Maybe Lauren knows you. Do you recognize her?
Do I recognize you?
He says it's a nice place, though, and I agree. It is.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, and they have good beers, too.
Uh-oh.
It's Pete.
It's Pete.
Oh, no. He makes the beer. William Hall's here, says cheers. Oh, William, welcome to it. Thanks for being here, man. Just wrapping up on all these whiskeys. You're about to hear the final top 10. Actually,
what the fuck? This one has been a different number every time. 87 plus 88 plus.
I'm gonna be reading
90 plus 88. Okay.
What are you doing?
I don't know. I can't read. I'm worse than
Are you doing the total totals?
That's the total totals.
Oh, you're doing them from all of them?
Okay, here, I'll just put 1, 2, 3, 4, just so we...
Let's put, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Ooh.
Let's do the 2 big numbers next to each other, and I'll A-B whatever I have to. Yeah, so the Whiskey Blender Fraley says, well, I'm in Dane a few times a year for work and fun. It's a hell of a lot of crazy working with the Henrys. They've adopted me into their wild and wonderful family. Honestly, when we were there for the release of the limited edition, I felt like I was in a Hallmark movie. Honestly, like part of me felt like I should just quit my job, go beg them for a job, and just work on the farm and make whiskey for the rest of my life. Like something about it, just this big farm in the middle of nowhere.
He was talking about making a Hallmark movie there.
I'm serious. Like the vibes of it. It's just like there's the farm girl, whatever, right? So like there's a farm girl who's unsuspecting, then the big city boy comes in and wants a job there or needs to do something or whatever, and the farm girl has to like teach him how to make whiskey, right? Like That's a Hallmark movie waiting to happen. I feel like Jay Henry has an opportunity on their hands. They just got to reach out to one of those directors and make a Hallmark movie. Yeah, it would be great. A Major Zero, hey man, how you doing tonight? Welcome. Cheers, all he says. Cheers to you. Thanks for being here. But that being said, Lauren's tallying up the points here, and honestly, early guesses. I want to say I really enjoyed 4. I really enjoyed, I think, 7.
You can have a bunch. You need an AB. You need to do this. I have too much going on in my brain. I can't do it.
Lauren's had a lot of whiskey. Let me just quick tally these points here. Phone? Oh, my phone.
Use your own phone. My
Okay.
phone's not working.
I'm gonna add them up.
No, I have the ads up right. I had to double check them. I can't put them in order because I'm too stupid.
Oh yeah. So
okay,
you have.
This is
you have
number 1.
Oh, you added these total numbers
yes,
for everything. Okay, move your finger. Move your finger.
Hold on, stop.
I don't do it like that. I put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I put the numbers next to it, and then I'll put first, second, third next to those, so I can run through it. So, number 1 got 353 total.
You need to fix this. It just looks like 1,350. Put a line there.
So I gotta put the decimals, otherwise Lauren's gonna get all confused. Number
Why
2
is the decimal on the top? It looks like an apostrophe.
357. Number 3's got 362. Number 4's got 357 again. So I'm gonna have to AB number 4 and number 2. And I'm gonna have to AB 5 and 1.
No, wait. Yeah, you're right. That's instead.
This pen is dying.
I know. That's what my struggle was, I think.
No, this is a different pen. 349 for number 6. Number 7 gets 362. Number 8 gets 355. Number 9 gets 361. And number 10 gets 363.
Okay, so 360 is the highest, and then there's 2 362s.
Hold on. So, now.
I'm gonna pee myself.
Lauren's getting rowdy in here. The lowest here is 349. So last place is number 6. That gets 10th. Don't tell me, please. Let me wait. Then we got 353 is a tie between 1 and 5. So I have to AB 1 and 5 and figure out which one of these I like better. That one will get a little plus and the other one won't. Starting with number 1. Okay, I think I like 1's nose better. Now we'll go ahead and get it on the palate.
Can't fucking tell me that number 5 is better than number 1.
Oh yeah, 1 gets a plus for sure.
100%.
So number 9th is 5. 8th is 1. Then the next one on the list, we have a number 8 is number 7. Then we have a tie between number 2 and number 4. So I have to AB those for 6th and 5th, 2 and 4. On the nose, oh, 4. 4 takes the nose, but let's get on the palate here.
I'll tell you what, 4 does take the nose because I have 4 is fantastic.
Four is better, easily. Honestly, almost night and day. So number 2 is going to take 6th place. Number 4 is going to take 5th. Then
yeah, you had another AB.
We have number 9 is going to take 4th.
And then AB those 2.
And then we're going to have to AB number 3 and number 7. Three and 7 on the nose. Oh, 3 smells great. Oh, 7 smells good. They honestly have I feel like the nose has a similar profile on them. 7. 3 feels more potent. 7 feels more well-rounded. I think it might come down to the palate of this one. Three has a little bit more tannic oak. I need water for this. This is too close for me. 3 is good. I feel like 3 is offering a little bit more tannic oak in it than I think that actually brought it down a few points when I actually tasted it. But honestly, 7 almost feels simple. Let's go back to 3 one more time.
3 is bitter as fuck. Tastes like I ate the dirt. It's okay. It's better than 5 though.
Lauren's right. So 3 is going to get 3rd place. Number 7 is going to get 2nd place. And number 10, coming in at 363 points, right, it's going to get 1st place. So, that being said, Lauren has the answers. I'll catch up on the comments before we get here. I got proof in my mouth, baby. For Realsy says, I don't know her, LOL. I don't give a name, though. Just live in the area. Haven't been to Station 1 in a few months, though.
Oh, well, then I probably...
They just came out with...
a brown ale.
A brown ale, which is actually pretty good. I enjoy it. Lauren didn't like it as much, but
No, I'm not a big, like, bitter person. When it comes to beer, I like those, like, sour, pungent notes, which we refuse to come out with, which is fine. I like the cream ale.
She likes sour beers.
Whereas, like, you know, Holland's more of that, like, earthy, deep, toasty note kind of guy.
Desserty is the way I would describe it. But Whiskey Browner Fraley says, yeah, you could definitely make a Hallmark movie at the J. Henry Farm. That's hilarious. I know. I honestly, like,
We
I
should
think
have
it's a good idea.
while we were there, and then
reach
it would
out.
just, like, add to the nostalgia of the movie.
It would. It's just like country girl meets city boy, right? It's just the way it is.
City girl meaning a country boy.
That's true.
Except you're, like, as far from country as country gets.
That's true. I grew up in the country, but I don't know. I was a little more country back then.
Maybe back
Holden,
then.
don't start making movies. Hollywood is bad enough already. Hey, you know
no,
what,
this
though?
isn't Hollywood. This is Grimby, Wisconsin. Okay, Wisconsin.
Hey, but Nancy says, yeah, but the J. Henry Farm is truly perfect. You could do a Hallmark movie there for sure. Yeah, honestly,
No,
like
it was very cutesy there. The like you walk up or you go into the thing and it's all like trees around you, and then
it's in the middle of nowhere.
Barns, and then all of a sudden there's like this big beautiful house.
But it's so
this big,
important.
Beautiful porch, and then they give you hot cocoa, and it just tastes so good.
Oh my gosh, the hot cocoa with J. Henry bourbon in it.
It was yummy. And then they have these tacos. Oh, don't even get me started
Great
on the tacos. Oh, they're so good.
Joe says, I want to hear the more important rankings. Lauren's. Ooh.
Mine.
And Nancy says, I'm nervous and waiting with bated breath to hear your results. Okay.
Nancy's gonna like the answers.
I
Maybe
hope
not
so.
Holden's, but mine.
Okay. So we go through yours first.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't tally yours.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, mine
so
are a little easier, I think. Well, we all know one is number 4.
122 is
2 is gonna be number.
No, number 2 is.
It's gonna be 7 or
Last.
6.
Is that a 2 right there?
Yes, that's a 2.
Okay. What's 56 here? 156?
I think meant 156.
Okay. Lauren's number 2 came in last place, number 10.
Wait, are you sure? Shouldn't my last
122.
place have been the number 5?
No, it got 124.
Oh.
That's why I asked you if the palette was really a 49.
The nose was fine. The palate was horrible.
So number 5 gets a 9th place from Lauren. Then we're moving up to 128 and is number 3 that comes in 8th place for Lauren. 132 comes in 7th place for Lauren. That's number 1. Then we got 150. That's number 10. That comes in 6th place for Lauren. Is that an 8?
That's an 8.
Okay, so you're gonna have to A and B. Or sorry, number 6 comes in 5th place. You're gonna have to A and B number 7 and number 9.
Oh, Lord, have mercy on my
Those
soul.
two, you're gonna have to let me know which one's better.
There's hardly anything left in
Both of
this
those are tried at 56. But first place is number 4. And second place is number 7.
Okay, well this one's no.
Sorry. Second place is number 8.
Number 9's nose is better.
Number 9's nose is better. Okay, now taste them. If you need water, I got it.
Not drinking that shit. Ooh.
Number 7 tastes better.
I think so.
So you got to think of overalls. Is number 9's nose beating number 7's taste, or is it close enough that number 9 gets it? Don't wreck yourself here. But if you need water, I got it.
I don't know. This one's nose is better, but this one's mouth is better.
Okay, so which one's better? Which one is the nose close enough, or is the mouth close enough?
I feel like for me, if I'm saying the mouth is better, it means it's a better bourbon because I don't normally like.
So you think number 7 gets the win?
Yeah, but
Okay,
number
so,
9 is still good.
Number 7 is going to be 3rd place, and number 9 is going to be 4th place. So, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, how are we going to do
Let's
this?
do mine. I'll do mine, and then we'll say where that place is in yours. So, in last place for mine, number 10, which, by the way, these are my top 10 out of 25.
Wait, number 10?
Okay,
wait.
No, hold on. 10th place is number 6.
Okay.
So these battled through hell and back. They made it through
Multiple
first 4 rounds and 25 of the best whiskeys that I had. I got a lot more than 25 whiskeys this year. This is the best 25 that I had head-to-head blind in battles of 10, okay? In last place and number 10 for whiskey of the year is glass number 6. Lauren, what's glass number 6?
It is.
No way!
Yeah, but think about this. It was your number 10, and it was my number 5. 5.
So, in last place for me is Knob Creek 18, which I swore that I love.
Only made me drive so fucking far for this shitty bottle. I'm just kidding.
Okay, well.
I'm being dramatic.
Number 10 of the best whiskeys of the
No.
year is still
I'm
really
being
good.
dramatic, but you made me drive really far for this just for the 10.
She was not in a good mood that day. But Knob Creek 18 took last place for me, but it's number 5 for Lauren.
Yeah. It's because, with the palate being so, easy, I could actually...
That's number 6?
Drink its stuff. You know what I mean? Like, it's actually sit down and enjoy
I think the 100 proof killed that one. If I look at all these whiskeys on here, all of them are higher than 100 proof.
Yeah.
And I think the palate of this one just didn't quite live up to what it could have been at the proof range as the rest of them. Now, moving on, in 9th place, the number 9 whiskey of the year is glass number 5 for me. And glass number 5 is...
Russell's 13.
Really?
Last fucking place for me is... Oh, no, it wasn't.
No.
The palate was horrible.
Russell's Reserve 13 took 9th place for whiskey of the year.
And I freaking did so much work to get you this bottle.
Well, you just saw it in the back room.
You know what? But I had to fight the guy for it. He gave me this look. He's like,
"Where's Casey tonight?" Casey is in love with that bottle.
Russell's my parents' favorite too.
Well, Russell's is great. Russell's is so good. But Russell's took number 9 for Lauren, so 9th place.
Number 9 for me, yeah.
Yeah, so you and I actually put it in the same spot.
Yeah, the mouth was so bad. I couldn't. No.
I enjoyed it.
It was horrible.
Okay, place number 8 was glass number 1.
Okay.
For me, which Lauren, what is glass number 1?
Well, what is it for me?
It's 7th place for you, 8th place for me.
Okay, so it is this one.
Glass number 8 for me. 8th best whiskey of the year is J. Henry and Sons limited edition 2023. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
1,000 times better than the rest.
And so what bottle is that, or what glass is that? Number 1?
Number 1.
I'm glad we went back and retasted it because 10 times better after I went through the first
it was
time.
1,000 times better than the Russells.
Yeah.
1,000 times better.
I
The
agree.
Russells.
Okay. Moving on to glass.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
Go back to where you were. Stop touching things. It was on.
No, my list's on the other page. Okay, so that is place number 8 for us. 7th place for the whiskey of the year for me is glass number 8. And for Lauren, glass number 8 took 2nd. So this is probably the biggest upset.
This makes so much sense.
Lauren's favorite whiskey
That makes so much
ever
sense.
is Woodford Batch Proof. Second favorite.
Which I love. The other one that I have.
118.4. That's last year's batch.
Yeah.
And for this year, it took 2nd place for Lauren. It's 7th place for me. It's Woodford Batch Proof, 124.7.
That makes so much sense. See, I wasn't even. I told you I forgot what they were. Because I mean, that's crazy.
That's pretty impressive. Okay. Moving on to 6th place. Why did I just develop a list?
I'm gonna stop.
6th place.
I'm gonna be myself. Stop.
now in number 6th place. I got a list out of nowhere.
Stop. I've had 2 old fashions and 10 sips of whiskey.
Okay, in 6th place.
Stop! I told you. I have to pee so bad.
I didn't do that on purpose.
Listen.
Woo! Is it on
You're
here?
red. You're so red. You're like a piece of mango.
I'm like your shirt. In 6th place is glass number 2, which is Lauren's last place, by the way. Really? So in 6th place is Wild Turkey 12-year bourbon. Mind you guys, the way I'm doing this live or this blind battle for this year is any whiskey that I got this year, which by the way, Pappy Van Winkle 10 I got this year is in it, and the Russell's Reserve 13 I did get this year, or I got it after last year's whiskey of the year.
I don't
So
know
it
if
is
I
in
can
it. It's
handle.
in
I have to pee.
the last week of December.
If you make me laugh again, I'm literally gonna wet my pants.
Well, I've been at it for 2 hours and 30
I'm
minutes.
gonna go pee. I already peed once during this live stream. I'm gonna go pee.
Where's my? I almost sat down onto nothingness.
Oh my god, that would have been so funny.
My whiskey shelf, my like $10,000 would have came down crashing on me. But you know, this will give me time to answer some of these comments here. I know Casey is pissed. Turkey 12 came in 6th place for whiskey of the year, which, by the way, not bad at 101 proof. Okay, let's put this in mind. Knob Creek 18 suffered in 10th place at 100 proof, but Wild Turkey 12 year kicked ass at 101 proof, made it all the way to 6th place, with which, gotta say, it's doing pretty well. That being said, Derek says, don't forget the participation awards. Let's be honest. None of these whiskeys need participation because they're in the top 10 and they're kicking ass and taking names. Which, speaking of taking names, we're back down to the top 5 that we're on. And I haven't seen an Elijah Craig Barrel Proof yet. So, that's in the top 5 for sure. Joe says, I want to hear more important ratings. I read that one already. I must have missed Derek's comment.
Ow! That landed on my bad toe.
I'm sorry.
I told you everything happens from my bad toe.
I'm sorry. Peter White says, unsubbed. I'm sorry. Joe is not a fan of the Knob Creek 18. I love it.
Me and Joe.
For reals, he says he only had the Knob Creek. I'm assuming it means Knob
Creek 12? Is that a thing?
Oh, yeah, it is. I only had the Knob Creek 12
after I
and loved it. Knob 12 is awesome. Love Knob 12. His foot is on my knee.
Is that okay? His foot's not on your knee.
Peter says he loves the Knob Creek 12, and the 18 may not be a step up.
Minimal. 12, right? You got 12 right here.
You know, maybe I should put 12 and 18 in a blind one time. Maybe I should get a single barrel of the Knob Creek 2 and then do a 3-way.
You can one in there too.
Have a menage a trois. Nancy Fraley says Russell's is usually a fantastic solid pour.
Don't at me, okay?
I know.
That was horrible. The nose was phenomenal.
To be
Don't get me
fair,
wrong, the nose was fantastic. The palate was so
Knob Creek, Knob 13, or sorry, Russell's 13 took, I need this. Russell's 13 was number 1 in the last blind that I did, which means that out of all the ones, it actually beat Russell's 13 beat both J. Henry's last time, but it lost to J. Henry Limited Edition this time. So palette changes depending on last time the J. Henry was in 5th and
what was it this time?
This time it was 8th. So Russell's actually stepped back, and Russell's was 9th.
Oh.
Compared to the last time I did this, Russell's was the number 1 seed coming into this round.
What's next?
Let me just get here. Casey says currently unsubscribing. LOL, Russell's 13 is better than that. And he's getting the sad boy emoji from the Bourbon Bar. If you guys want that sad boy emoji, make sure you become members of the Bourbon Bar. Hit the join button.
It's nice trying to sell everyone right now.
Trying to sell it. We're on to number 5. Which, by the way, Casey, honestly, I know Casey and I have different palettes. That's been shown in many blinds.
Clearly.
But I'm curious to see if Casey really put Russell's above some of these other whiskeys that I got up here.
No.
Because that Russell's was good, but...
Casey should do his own. His own.
Yeah, but where is he going to show it to anyone?
He can come on here on his live stream. And
if Casey came on here, we could do a Whiskey of the Year live stream with Casey. That would be fun for me.
Okay, I'm just saying he can do his own bottles.
That's true.
You can just have him with his bottles. People aren't going to not show up because it's his bottles.
True. Nancy actually says that she agrees. Knob Creek 12 is better than the 18. Maturation conditions depending. 18 years is just too long for bourbon. That's fair.
It tastes like there's nothing to the palate.
Yes, when I drink Knob Creek 18 by itself, I really enjoy it a lot. And the flavors of it and a lot of stuff. But compared to all these other whiskeys, it feels flat. It feels like it doesn't have enough notes in it. It needs more. The only other whiskey that I have that's in that age range, actually 2 of them. I have Elijah Craig 18, and I have the Old Fitz Bib.
Which Elijah Craig 18
19.
took something way back when.
Elijah Craig 18 took way lower. I'll get to that. But yeah, I haven't had too many high age bourbons other than that though.
Comments on here.
How did Lauren pick Wild Turkey 12 as last? It's so good. I agree, it is good. Casey said it's goated. Pass on Willet. We did Purple Top at Woodman's on Xmas Eve. I don't know if I made the right choice. I actually had a chance to buy that and I didn't. Yeah, what is your name for realsies? I'm curious. It was too expensive for me. I spent like a lot of money on whiskey recently, so it's Louis the Fourth. It's 4th, right? I hate your name. I hate it. I hate it. It's a great name, but I suck.
Well, that's too stupid.
It's 4th, right?
Yes, it's 4th. The one is before the V that means subtract.
Is Still Austin Blue Corn Bib worth $80?
I don't know. What do we have? Still Austin?
We only have the cast strength Still Austin. But the cast strength kicked ass.
Yeah, what's good, yeah.
So if the bib is anything close to the cast strength, then yes, it absolutely is. Bourbon aged that long usually doesn't hold up since it has spent its maturation time in new oak and isn't distilled for long-term maturation. That's true. Whereas Scotch, you get those high-aged Scotches, or at least in the close to the 18-year range, it's still subtle sweetnesses and a lot less oak tannins. You almost don't taste the oak.
Well, it's just so crazy. I mean, like the Knob Creek 18 had them in like barreled when we were like 5.
Yeah, well, you think about the Glenmorangie 18 that I have sitting over there. It's sweet. Like there's so many sweet notes to it. And it has almost no oak in it at all.
When does it tell? Where does it tell you on here? Because this says 1992, but that's not 18 year.
That was last year's batch,
so
which means that 18 years to 2022 is 2020.
2004.
2004, yeah.
Okay, so we were 4 when that was bottled.
William Hall says both the Knob Creek 12 and 18 would be helped by a higher proof. 100 is just not enough punch. I think the thing is, and I don't know this for sure, but I feel like the people, when they tasted the Knob Creek 18 at barrel strength, they probably thought it was too tannic because a higher age of a bourbon could lead to those really tannic notes. Whereas if they proofed it down, some of that water would take away some of those tannic notes of it. But I don't know for sure. And Nancy says, and please let me say that working with Magnus, I have access to a lot of older stock bourbons up to 22 years old. Those old casks are usually only good for blends and rarely as single barrels. That's interesting to me. I mean, like I said, the highest I have is Old Fitz, and I enjoy that, but I enjoy an oak presence, and I haven't had anything over 18 or 19, so
yeah,
I don't know. It's interesting.
Well, 22 is practically your age, so
that's true. That being said, moving on into 5th place, top 5 of the year.
Top 5
is glass number 4 for me, which is
the
your number 1
for me.
Glass number 4.
You want to guess what it is?
Is it J. Henry and Flam?
Yep.
I knew it because you said Nancy would be happy.
Yep.
5th place of the year in the
Makes
La
total
Flamme.
sense for me. Again, my top 1 and 2 were the other ones I've had from them were my favorites.
So when I first tasted La Flamme, I did say that this compared.
Holden sits down and goes, "This is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth." It was on the couch on the edge.
I did say this compared highly to the Joseph Magnus cigar blend, and in comparison, Joseph Magnus came in 14th place.
And they were on the same comparison level.
They were. This one started in close to the same seed. And J. Henry is now at 5th place for their La Flamme.
And my number 1, Nancy. This is why I say women do it better.
And Lauren's number 1, which is finished
everything
in
about this was fantastic.
Armagnac barrels at 113.5 proof. J. Henry La Flamme at number 5.
Yeah, so we're sticking. I just have the same palate that I like the J. Henry and I like the Woodford.
I haven't had a single bottle of J. Henry that I haven't liked.
Well, obviously, but my 2 favorites are the 2 things I like on your shelf. I mean, come on.
That's true.
I know my shit, guys.
Okay, in 4th place, glass number 9, which is also your 4th place.
Oh, look at that.
Fine.
Good
Glass
high.
number 9.
No
Little
problem.
Book Chapter 7.
That was also really good.
That shocked me. I know I liked this a lot when I first opened it, but I didn't know I liked it as much as I liked some of these other ones.
I thought it was pretty good.
I really enjoyed this a lot. This is a blend of every little book that they've come out with yet. That includes some of their single malt and finished and smoked barrels ones that came from Little Book Chapter 6. So, in 4th place is Little Book Chapter 7. Interesting. Okay. In 3rd place for me is glass number 3. That came in your 8th place.
Yeah.
Glass number 3 for me, 3rd place. Lauren's 8th.
That's too bitter. Way too bitter.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Batch C923. 133 proof. 13 and 7 months old. I knew that I liked this a lot when I first got it. I did not know that it would take 3rd place for me in the top 10 blind. Very nice. Elijah Craig, batch C923. Came in 3rd place. I think the one thing about this batch that I really enjoyed is how well it's blended and rounded out. It doesn't feel anything's jutting off in the wrong direction. But my other favorite batch that I enjoy a lot is C921. And that one's known for having a lot of dark notes, oak, brown sugar, chocolate, and that's one of my favorites. So, that being said, glass...
It's between these 2.
Which, by the way, this one, I said from very early on that I loved this a lot. And this one, I also really enjoyed a lot too. But I never thought a rye would make it this high in my top list of whiskey of the year. But that being said, in 2nd place...
Why don't we say what were these in mine?
Okay. I don't know. You would have to look. But then I can't look.
Okay.
Because then I'll know what it is. I'll read here.
Okay. So, in mine, these were either 3rd or 6th. And yours, 1 was 1 and 1 was 2. So guess which one you think it is.
Honestly,
what do you think? What do you think in yours is number 1?
This one.
Are you sure?
I think so. Baker's 13.
Are you sure?
Is it not?
So do you think this is my number 3 or number 6?
I think this is your number 3. I think that you would like this bourbon with some sweet notes better than you would like a rye.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
I know you love Parker's Heritage from last year, but a rye is different than a bourbon. Even though
it is different.
This
are you sure about your answer?
This is a barely legal rye. It's 51% rye, and it's high age stated. I think it's 100. It's a 10-year-old rye. 10-year-old rye. At 128.8 proof.
Are you putting your answers in?
I think so.
This was my number 3.
Really?
Yep. This is my number 6.
Okay. So in number 2 place for me, glass number 7. Wait. Let me guess. That's 8. Let me guess on glass number 7. And what's the other one?
10.
Glass 10. Oh. Is 10 Parker's Heritage?
No.
Really?
No, it's Baker's.
Okay.
So this was Holden's number 1.
Was Baker's?
13.
So in second place for Whiskey of the Year, Parker's Heritage.
This is on Parker's Heritage 10-year. Where I?
10-year rye. Which, by the way, the highest a rye has ever scored for me in any blind ever. Last year, the highest rye I think was New Riff Malted Rye. That came in, I think, 6th. Mm-hmm. This year, Parker's Heritage Cast Strength Rye, 10 years old, came in number 2. But the number 1 Whiskey of the Year for the Bourbon Bar is Baker's 13 single barrel whiskey at 107 proof. Which
this is Jim Beam, is it not?
It is a Jim Beam product.
Yeah, look at Hold and Go. So your favorite was your favorite distillery, and my favorites are
I think the title of my review of this whiskey is Whiskey of the Year Contender or whiskey. I loved this whiskey. I loved this a lot. The first time I tasted it, I drank this a million times thinking, well, not a million, but like a lot of times thinking that this would be very close to my Whiskey of the Year whiskey. But I did not know that in 2023, the Bourbon Bar's Whiskey of the Year was Baker's 13. That's insane. That's absolutely wild.
This is awesome.
This is awesome, is what I said?
This is awesome.
But I think I said in the video that I thought it could be some of the best. Peter says, I have scotches up to 39 years old, and none are over oaked. They're all usually an ex-barrel of something to mature. Which makes sense, because the barrels don't get as much influence in those scotches because they're used. Nancy says, bourbon isn't distilled and aged in a way that is usually meant to age for a long time. You couldn't age a bourbon like a vintage Armagnac or Cognac for 40, 50, or 60 plus years. True. Because I mean, I only know so much, but I think the new barrel of a bourbon is going to obviously have so much more, which is an upside and a downside, because a new age bourbon barrel is going to allow for some of those sweet oak notes that I personally really enjoy. But it also allows for you to be able to sell a younger bourbon, whereas if you sold a younger scotch, I don't know if it would taste nearly as good. And Whiskey Blender Fairly says, heck yeah, I'm totally thrilled that J. Henry Laflamme got your 5th place. There's some stiff competition here, and I'm glad it can hold up. Absolutely. Not to mention the limited edition took 8th place, which beat out...
And the limited edition... No, the Laflamme's been in here longer.
Laflamme has been in here
for like 3 rounds. Yeah.
Laflamme, or the LE
came in
was
just
only
after
yesterday's round.
Yeah.
So one extra round. Whereas not only did the LE and the Laflamme beat out Russell's 13 and Knob Creek 18, it also beat out Cigar Blend, both Shanks and Baumburgers. It beat Four Roses LE.
All the other Wisconsin bourbons.
It beat Old Rip Van Winkle, and it beat a million. Okay, so that being said, let's do my top 25 list. Starting.
Well, no, now you might as well start down here because I know what 1 through 10 is.
Okay, actually, I gotta pee. You wanna read these and I'll go to the bathroom?
Wait,
Okay.
read the comments or read these?
Yeah, read the comments. Read.
What the heck do I look like?
Just
Oh, my leg hurts from sitting. Okay. Oh my goodness, it's Joe. You know what, Joe? You're effing right on this. That was bitter AF. There was something enjoyable about it. Ugh. Sorry, Nancy. Oh wait, no. This is a different one. I never had that one. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. I totally agree. A higher proof would really put those over the goalpost. Ooh, I like how you said that. Goalpost. Man, if only you had got the Hardin's Creek series. The heck's the Hardin's Creek? Oh, Holden says Jim Beam. Yeah, imagine if Holden just like went to Jim Beam Distillery. Did my parents go there? Is Jim Beam in Tennessee? Kentucky. Okay, that I did. Okay, so for realsies says, yeah, but have you tried Kessler's? Kessler's is the most disgusting bullshit I've ever had in my entire life. Nancy Fraley says, wow, Baker's 13 for Whiskey of the Year. Haven't had it yet. Wow. But would love to try it. This has been a great episode. I know I told you to come back when I was on here, and you did, and now you know how fun it actually is. I'm not hating on Casey. I promise. Mr. Fulton Mraz. Who's that? Is that someone new?
Who?
Hello, everyone. I have an announcement on New Year's Eve, and I'm going to me and my girlfriend Caitlin for our engagement ring. Out, I will kneel down and I will propose. Oh, that's so sweet. Wow, me too.
Mr. Fulton Mraz. I went to school with Mraz, a Kendra Mraz, by the way.
On New Year's Eve, that's so romantic. Like at midnight.
Wow, what a guy.
Oh my goodness. Make sure she has her nails done. Make sure she has a cute outfit on. Make sure that someone that can take a picture is there or that you videotape it in some way, shape, or form. You got this.
I wanted to touch back on this comment. I didn't realize you haven't had it yet. I'm curious on what a master blender would think about the Baker's 13. Now, a lot of these, I did take into consideration how well they were blended and the body that they offer and a lot of other things like that. But one of the main courses for my list here is how I like it personally, and it has a lot to do with my palate. I've been known to like Booker's and Knob Creek and Jim Beam products, so it's not a shock to me that Baker's came in first place, but I'd be interested to hear what other people have to say about a Baker's 13. I know that Casey has it, which he's down here, and I know he enjoyed it a lot too, but I'm curious on what other people think. Casey says the real question is, would Maker's Mark Cellar Aged be the number one if you had one? Which, if you guys saw last week's live stream, I was able to drink that with Casey, who has a bottle. And I don't know. I think Maker's Mark Cellar Aged is awesome. But after drinking these blind, I have no idea how Maker's Mark Cellar Aged would have placed. Honestly, part of me thinks it might even be closer to third or fourth place. I don't know. I'm the most surprised, I think, about the Parker's Heritage Rye coming in so high. Mm-hmm. And I think last year's Parker's Heritage, which was a double-barreled bourbon, only came in like third. Yeah, I don't think it came that high. Yeah. Which is crazy to me. Peter says having a J. Henry pour from the independent bottler, Two Souls, very flavorful, but proofy. It definitely does have the proof behind them, but I feel like that helps it hold up to some of these really big, high-proof hitters. The Elijah Craig barrel strength coming in at 133, which is the highest one in today's blind, which is crazy. And Nancy says, whoa, J. Henry Laflamme beat out J. Magnus Cigar Blend Bourbon. Dang, I'm absolutely psyched. J. Henry Laflamme is half the age of Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend, and yet is just so kick-ass and flavorful. I love this.
I would be really interested to see it against Casey's, since you don't like yours as much.
Okay, so I have batch 155 for the Joseph Magnus, and I put it in a blind. I actually got one bottle that I sold to my friend Casey, who's on here, and Casey got his own bottle in line. So I have 155, and the two other ones I think were 162 and 181. And Casey, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was my least favorite out of those three. Now, I still really like this. It came in 14 out of my top 25 for this year, but I know that I enjoyed Casey's two better, the batch 182 or 181 and 160 something. I don't know. Casey can say it was. So I'd be interested in if I had one of those, but yeah, Jay Henry kicked some serious ass today. Both of their bottles making the top 10. And here's the thing. When I put all the Jay Henrys in a line, I also put Patton Road and Bellefontaine. I put really high up. But I did not add them into my top 25 because I wanted a little bit more diversity than all the Jay Henrys. But I got all of those 4 this year. Mm-hmm. So, part of me is curious to see how Bellefontaine and Patton Road would do against some of the other big hitters. But Glass 2, the soapy one, what was Glass 2?
Glass 2 is Wild Turkey 12.
Wild Turkey 12. That's the one that Nancy was talking about being, where is it?
It's right here.
Was talking about maybe being cloudy.
What does cloudy mean? Is this one cloudy?
No, cloudy, I don't see much in here. Cloudy would be kind of like, you can't see through it perfectly clearly.
Clear. This one's really clear.
Yeah, cloudy, you kind of see maybe a little bit of particles floating around. It's kind of like hazy, you know what cloudy
Oh, this one I could literally see your face through it.
But I don't see a whole lot of clouds in Wild Turkey 12.
I looked through the other ones.
That could just be your wildness.
I mean,
your wild palate.
I think it's just a round bottle. The other ones were flat bottles. I can see you through it. It just tasted like soap.
Which also could be maybe a high age note that you're getting. Personally, I always thought that the Turkey 12 had a funk to it. And I've said this before, that Turkey 12 just has this weird funk. An interesting thing to note, that in one of my previous blinds, I'm pretty sure I put Weller 12 above Turkey 12. But now Turkey 12 is 19 places.
But Turkey 12 was only in
above Weller.
Was only in the last 2 rounds.
That's true.
And Weller was in the first round.
Yeah, but it lost the first round in last place.
Okay, but would Wild Turkey 12 have made it through all the rounds?
Okay.
Weller 12 sure as fuck wasn't going.
I'm going to give you guys the top 25 list from the Bourbon Bar for this. Actually, you know what? Let's do Lauren's list in order, because I know I said them, but I want to let you guys know what Lauren thinks. So, Lauren's last place was number 2. Lauren's last place was Turkey 12. Lauren's 9th place was number 5. Was Russell's. Lauren's 8th place was number 3.
ECVP.
Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Lauren's 7th place was number 1, which was the J. Henry Limited Edition. Lauren's 6th place was number 10, which was the Bakers. Lauren's 5th place was 6. That's Knob Creek 18. Lauren's 4th place was 9. Little Book Chapter 7. Lauren's 3rd place was 7.
Parker's.
Which was Parker's Heritage. Which
then Woodford and then LaFlamme.
Then Woodford and then LaFlamme. So Parker's Heritage, I think, is the biggest upset out of all of them. The fact that you liked a barrel strength rye whiskey.
It's a shocker.
Yeah, but you like a barrel strength rye whiskey better than a significant amount of very sweet bourbons. But barely legal rye, but still, that's impressive to me. The Woodford's not a shock. And J. Henry LaFlamme was first.
Maybe I would have thought that the Woodford would have been first just based off of what I normally like. Because I've really never just had J. Henry. I've only ever had it in old fashions. But it still makes sense for the things that I normally drink.
Yeah. Joe says it's high rye. Some people think rye smells / tastes like soap. The Turkey 12, is what he thinks is high rye. Or what he says is high rye. This one did taste like soap.
This one was very sweet with a little bit of...
True, which is also only 10 years old, but it is a much higher proof.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's got to be that funky note, because I do think there's a funk in Turkey 12. Nancy says, yeah, the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend batches are in the 100s, in the 100s, weren't my personal faves. I think we're back to where we were in the batches below 97 now, but I have to admit that the batch you have isn't quite to my standard.
Yeah,
and I believe it.
Definitely the batches play a difference, but you know what? We aren't gonna
on
our J. Henry because the Cigar Blends batch is shitty.
That's true. That's true. The J. Henry kicks. I'm going to read the list here. You guys are going to see the bottles that J. Henry kicked ass. But I would be curious to try one of the early batches of Cigar Blend because I've heard so many good things about it, and I've only ever had batches above like 150. That being said, we're going to start in last place because I know they know the first ones.
Up to 10.
But I'm going to start in last place. So in place 25 of the year is Weller 12. Coming in at bottle number 25 for me. And bottle number 24 is this year's limited edition from Yellowstone. That is Yellowstone finished in Tokai casks at 101 proof. At bottle number 23 is this year's Blood Oath, packed number 9. That one is finished in Oloroso sherry casks at 98.6, the temperature of blood. Coming in at number 23. 22 is the Elijah Craig 18-year-old. So, it is a very, very recent bottle that I got, was the Elijah Craig 18. It barely made the blind. Actually, in the blind that I tasted it in was the first time I had it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
I had never tasted it before. But Elijah Craig 18 came in at 22.
So maybe it would open up and would have gotten better, but
I think it was a proof thing. 90 proof. It's a very hard one to beat. Some of these really good whiskeys. Yeah. Coming in at 21 was the Old Grandad 114. So Old Grandad kicked the butt of 3 limited editions and one of the biggest tater whiskeys of all time, the Weller 12, which I personally love. But Old Grandad, another Jim Beam product, kicked ass.
And our favorite.
And our favorite.
What was that guy's name? Brent Butthole.
Brent Elliott.
Brent Elliott.
He makes good stuff. He's not a butthole. It's just that this year's limited edition wasn't my favorite.
I can't remember his name, so I heard a B and I went right to butthole.
In place number 20 was the Four Roses limited edition, 135th anniversary. The more I drink it, the more I find redeeming qualities of it. But every time I put it in a blind against some of these sweeter whiskeys, it just doesn't hold up for me. So that one actually came in 20th place, but it was the last place in the blind it was in with a high seed. So part of me wonders if it would even be lower if I had compared it to some of the other ones, but
find out one day. Just
one day. In place number 19, this one's actually kind of a shocker, was the Old Rip Van Winkle, 10 years old. That was 19th place, just barely beating out the Four Roses LE. In 18 was Baumburgers 2023 from the Michter's Distillery. In 17th place, Weller 107 proof. Weller 107, I think I didn't like as much as Weller 12.
You didn't at
when
first.
I blended.
Yeah.
But
it beat it out.
Now it beat it by at least 6 or 7 places. So Weller 107 in 17th place.
6 or 7 places. 17. Wait, how many is that?
25 to 17.
17. What is that? That's like 12.
8.
8.
Close enough. In place 16 is Shanks. Again, from the Michter's Distillery. Shanks actually beat out Baumburgers this year at a lower proof, but still was able to hold its own. I really enjoyed the Shanks from this year, so that's not a shocker. In place number 15, one of my favorite ryes of this year was a Limousine Rye from Wisconsin. This was, in particular, a Grainworks from Nina. Barrel Pick. It's a 7-year-old rye whiskey from Wisconsin from the Dancing Goat Distillery, double-barreled for an extra year or 2. So it's a decently aged double-barreled rye. That one came in 15. In 14th place was the Joseph Magnus Cigar Blend. And then in 13th is the Booker's 2023-03. One of my favorite Bookers of this year as far as the ones I got. The only one missing was the 2023-01. But 2023-03 took 13th place for this year. In 12th place is another one which did remarkably well, being a rye at barrel strength. That is Driftless Glen Rye. Came in at 12th place, just barely missing out on the top 10 blind. But the one that I almost wanted to make that top 10 blind was number 11. That's the Maker's Mark BEP.
And Holden searched up and down and put his names in like papers and everything for that motherfucker.
Yes, and I got it from Casey, of course,
in
Kentucky, for $90 no less. But Maker's Mark BEP came in at 11, just barely missing that top 10. And you guys know how it goes after that. 10 is Knob Creek 18. 9, Russell's 13. 8 is J. Henry Limited Edition, beating out all of those whiskeys to get to there. Number 7 is Woodford Batch Proof. 6 is Turkey 12. 5 is J. Henry La Flamme. 4 is Little Book Chapter 7. 3 is Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. C923. Number 2 is Parker's Heritage 10-year rye. And number 1, Baker's 13. Best whiskey of the year here at the Bourbon Bar.
This is how you talk. You're like,
I was reading a list. I had to do my fingers,
you're
you know.
funny looking.
Peter says rye is life, and I might believe it. This rye was bellissima.
It was yummy.
Bellissima. Nancy says batches of Joseph Magnus over 200 are pretty much back to what they were under batches 97, in my humble opinion. Well, good, because I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of Magnus, Joseph Magnus cigar blend randomly.
We were searching forever,
year.
and then all of a sudden you saw like 6 bottles.
I got 3 bottles this year. None of them over 200. They're all close to 150-ish batch proofs or batch numbers. And I ended up selling some of them because I had one, and I don't personally love having duplicates. So I sold them to friends or traded them for other whiskeys. But if I do see a batch number over 200, I most likely will buy it to keep, because I am curious on what them old batches taste like. Joe says, something that 4 Roses LE. He's almost demanding at this point. Joe, he also says, what was Lauren's number 1?
My number 1 was the La Flamme.
Lauren's number 1 was La Flamme, and number 2 was the Woodford Batch Proof.
Yeah.
So impressive
not
work.
Not surprising at all for Lauren.
No, it's not surprising
At all.
At all. But that being said, 3 hours and 6 minutes in, we're finally done with everything. That was quite the blind. I don't know if your parents are even still awake to go to the bourbon room.
No, they would have went to bed at 7 minutes ago.
Oh, damn it. But
darn it.
That being said, thank you all so much for being here. This was great. I enjoyed this a lot. Obviously one of the best blinds of the year. Some of the best whiskeys I've had all year. I will be putting out a video of the top 25 whiskeys from the Bourbon Bar. That's going to be just a clear list, and then once I get into the top 10, I'll kind of break them down a little bit more. But I'll be putting out an actual video for my top 25 probably this next Saturday or very, very soon. Next week's live stream is probably going to take place with some beaver mustard.
Crossing your fingers. Shipping should be here before then.
That's going to be the punishment for the advent calendar.
That's when it is. That's when the giveaway is going to be.
And we also are going to be having a giveaway with a Wrist Mafia watch and possibly some other.
I'm going to get a good little a basket going. You're going to be mostly from Lauren. You're going to get a watch and some tastings from Holden.
Yeah,
it's going to be from Lauren.
It'll be a $5 entry super chat to enter. And it's going to include it's going to include the Baker's 13 because that was my whiskey of the year. So that being said, make sure you guys are coming in to next week's live stream.
We should do the Baker's 13 and one whiskey of their choice off your shelf.
That's true, but I suppose whoever wins can choose off the shelf.
And they can just
That's fair. So definitely we'll do that, and then make sure you guys are also checking out all the other people's channels. Everyone else is on tonight. 21090 is typically on. Bourbon Junkies almost always on Tuesdays. Sometimes Badass Bobby will be playing, and he's great. Make sure you guys are just checking out everyone else. We haven't seen Sugar Kitty at all tonight.
I know. Where's Sugar
Kitty?
Oh,
man.
Last time Sugar Kitty didn't show up, he was having surgery, so it concerns me.
Yes, he would have also enjoyed probably this live stream. Maybe he'll go back and rewatch it. But it's also the holiday season, so he could be spending Christmas with some family members or whatever. So no fault there. But thank you all for being here. Peter says, epic live tonight. Thank you so much. And Derek says, nope, going to bed now.
Good night.
Damn. Looks like we aren't going to the room after all.
Fuckers.
We could, though. Me and you could go.
We could go.
Not that we need more whiskey, but...
What? I might go for a margarita.
Who doesn't want more whiskey?
You know what? That sounds fucking fantastic right
now. Whiskey Blender Fraley says, my apologies. Got to run for now since I have to get up early and fly across country from California to Florida. What a wonderful blind competition. Happy New Year and cheers. Thank you so much for being here. I always appreciate when you come in and impart us with your wisdom.
We needed her because otherwise we would have looked like stupid idiots without Sugar Kitty.
That's true. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you as always. And thank you for blending such good whiskey.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It was my number one.
But Joe Dickinson says 1 bottle, 4 roses, please.
Joe,
he's gunning for that 4 roses. And Peter says Sugar Kitty offline for a couple of weeks. Oh, that's
we're
sad.
gonna miss him so much.
Praying for Sugar Kitty. Whatever's going on, hopefully he's doing okay. But that being said, thank you all for being here. We love you all, and we'll see you all in the next class. Cheers. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.
And we'll see you next year.
Join the channel, and we will see you next year.
See you next year.
Have a good New Year's, everybody, and goodbye. Good night.